another episode of Fourever Rivals, episode 109. Slowly getting right up there, fellas. As you can see, a little bit of a change of personnel. We've got someone joining us. Manny will be with us in the second half of the show. As you know, Manny is off to Greece tomorrow, so he just got some family over, but he will be joining us. Yeah, he will be joining us in the second half. So we thought the only replacement we could think of, and to tell the truth, the only person who wanted to come on was Lucas from the Geelong Zone. How are you, mate?
Boom, mate, I am fantastic. It's a pleasure to be on this show, mate. Happy to be on here. Liam and Mark, good to see you two as well. And I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous opening up your show, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully I can still bring the same old larrikins I always bring to show. So, yeah, thanks for having me on, mate.
No, it's a pleasure, and I'm sure you're going to bring lots of value into this first hour of getting stuck into the AFL. We've got Marco. Look at Marco. He's like on top of the world. He's been calling out this win for the last 18 weeks, and even a broken clock is right twice a day. So eventually you got it right, Mark, and you had your win this week.
Yes. Good evening, boys, and welcome, Lucas, mate. But yeah, bit of a happy chat this week, mate. It's good to see. I'm not used to actually, getting out there and winning games. I guess the Bobs are not winning games, but it was fantastic. So I enjoyed the evening that night, and at this stage, I'm still buzzing a little bit. But yeah, hopefully we can put it on repeat again this week. So fantastic, Bombers, fantastic. Good to see.
That's it. That's all you can do, man. Win some games, keep everyone happy, and move on to the next week. And then you got Liam here. No joy for you again.
Nah, look, mate. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, look, it's pretty cool stuff down the bottom of the ladder.
Yes, that's another thing. That's another
move. So it's nice down there. Pick one coming our way. It's all shit. Let's move on. And
we already got a few people, and we'll get to the chat soon. But we got Magpie Army Chronicles, another nuffy that we love on this channel, and he's Lucas. The Cats are back in town, are they?
Back in what?
Well, Rocco, it's actually good that I'm on here, that they've actually won, because last time I was on here, I had to sing the Carlton song, and that was embarrassing.
I've got to sing the Collingwood song at the end of the show. So you thought yours was bad. Mine's going to be worse, man. But that's all right, man. Actually, last time you were on here, you went on that big losing streak, and so you could end Geelong's season tonight.
How good.
It'd be appropriate for those idiots in the Geelong fan base, wouldn't it? Maybe that's what they deserve for the crap they say every week. But no, just happy to be on here that we've won. So you can't banter me this week anyway.
No, we can't. And you've got a big game. We've all got big games this week. We've all got big games. So maybe not Liam. There's no big games for Liam anymore. But
Bulldogs at Marvel. That's exciting. Yeah,
hanging on to get to that end of the season, just hanging on. But we'll talk about that. Before we get to everybody, of course, we are proudly brought to you by Top Dog Liquor. If you like your liquor, you go straight down to Top Dog Liquor. Lucas, you've heard of Top Dog Liquor?
After watching all your shows, I have a fantastic store. I saw one of your vlogs that you went down there. Beautiful store there as well, Rocco, that he's got. So, yeah, fantastic. Top Liquor.
Let's have a look in case you missed it.
Boozy and bold. Top Dog Liquor. Boozy and bold. Top deals. Top booze. We have everything you choose. Iron Bar, Keith, Coach, Strathdale, White Hills. Top Dog Liquor. Get a little punch.
little punch. Go down there, go and see Lyndon Hosking. He'll give you a little punch. And go down there. If you get down to the American and British hotel there in Bendigo, you can actually get to shake hands with the great Olympian and Commonwealth boxer for Australia. Yeah, so get down there. Well, if you also want to meet Lyndon Hosking, there is an event at the end of the year that we're now secured, and let's have a look at it. We've just secured a couple of big guests. And this is on the 19th of September. I'm sure everybody here is well, not Lucas. He's all, you can make your way down, can't you?
Yeah, I could get down there from Adelaide, yeah.
Well, we'll see how you go. But here it is, man. We've got it down here. Got the big event. It's called the Big Day Out. Special guest Andrew Walker and future star Cody Walker will be on stage to have a chat with them. We're also going to have David Rhys-Jones, and there is also another couple that we're just working on. Could be just as big as Andrew and Cody Walker. It's on the 19th. It's in the Open Factory at Reservoir. Starts 3 p.m. Tickets go on sale 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Very reasonable priced. You get everything. We get us on stage with the Walkers and David Rhys-Jones and Monday Blues, Blue Sunday, and Fourever Rivals are going to be up on stage also. They'll have a chat with us, and there'll be plenty of chances for photos and autographs, question and answer, food, games, prizes. It starts at 3 p.m. We're going to have the prelim game live, that you can watch it there, have a few beers and watch the prelim. And then after that, we got the shows going on and all sorts of stuff. So make sure that you look for your tickets tomorrow. That's a big get, mate. We got a great star of the past and the future star of Carlton coming along to down.
Number one pick coming to Richmond. Absolutely. I'll let him know.
Yeah, you won't be getting anyone, man. I'm telling you, you'll be lucky. You're going to get a bunch of hacks like you've been getting in the last few years, right? You're not getting Cody. Cody's ours, especially now that Sydney's slowly falling down the ladder. We're slowly falling down the ladder. We'll have more than enough points. We'll have points in reserve, mate. We'll have points in reserve. So don't you worry. You can bid for him, which you will, right? But I don't think he's going to go number one. I still reckon Cochrane's going to go number one, and he'll go number two. So we'll have more than enough points in the bank for him. You can, you're not even going to get Cochrane, so I don't even know who you're going to get. You're going to get some hack finishing last and ended up with another hack. Essendon will bid also. Well, only one of you can bid. What's that?
We'll bid for him. Why not?
No, well, probably Richmond. It depends on who finishes last, but you won't bid for him. You'll probably bid for Cochrane.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one you'll go for.
I don't want a bloke with cock in his name. That's weird.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. You know, someone with cock in his name. I like that.
I just laughed.
I reckon that's the criteria. You should go. No cocks and dicks in my team. I agree.
Pretty much. Yep.
We got plenty of people getting in there. Always Sammy Taylor was always the first welcome, and we got AI, as I call him, Marco. He's heard still the main candidate for coach. He's got a question for you straight away. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You just don't know.
You've got one of your mates here. Mark, unbelievable. We won on the weekend. I had a feeling we're going to win. Man, you had a feeling for 18 weeks. Eventually, you're going to have to get it right.
I tipped them.
Oh, my God. You sure this isn't you? Now let's beat the Hawks. Jesus Christ, you have one win and all of a sudden.
Come on, full support.
Enzo Valentino, he's welcoming. Manny will be, he'll be here a bit later on. Oz, how are you, mate? Lou Folino. Thank you, always here. Bocek, always in the background. Let me know that WWE is up the fucking shit right now. That's all. Thanks for reading.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, do you? You're a WWE fan. All right.
I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah.
Lana, thanks for joining. Who else we got? Jacana's always in there. Jay's always there. Who else we got here? We got Chris. Thanks, mate. Who else we got here? We've got have we got anyone? Yeah, we got Georgie. How are you? Mark's look confident. Yeah, he's looking. Look at him, man. Look at this. You got Red MGF. Good day, gang. How is everyone going? Not a great weekend for us. Nah, the Blues had a bit of a disaster. Always a bad weekend when you lose to bloody Collingwood. How you all going? Mark, did you get your plumbing sorted out last? Oh, yes.
Yes,
Got that, yeah.
just. Yeah.
Mate, you had a massive leak in your bathroom, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty scary, mate. It was starting to flood the whole house, and I thought, shit, think smart, Mark. So I went straight to the main, turned the water off. Yeah, and it stopped everything. So I was relieved, mate. Relieved. So
I'll give you a bit of advice. Everyone in your house, the men in your house, mainly the men, teach your whole family, kids, wife, where the main water is.
Correct.
Teach them where the main water is because they don't know. And then you get a leak and they don't know what to do. You know, the first thing you got to do is teach them where the main water, how to switch it off.
And the funny thing is, Rocco, lucky we were pretty much home last week because if we it would have flooded. It wasn't a leak, mate. It actually blew out from the bottom, so it just just pissed out straight away. So yeah, smart thinking, quick thinking, and response time was good too.
100%, man. We got plenty. Oz, hi Lucas. Look, fan favorite here.
Yeah, hello, mate. Thanks for shout out.
Yeah, everyone's going to be happy. What else we got? Someone did say, sing the Essendon song. No, I won't be singing. Oh, here it is. Rocco to sing the Essendon song. I'm not singing the Essendon song. They got to beat us, me sing it, but I will be singing the Collingwood song later on. So stay tuned. The sugar hit, mate. 1 game sugar hit, mate, for Markov. Thank you very much. Who else you got? What's this idiot's got to say? Most likely will be in the prelim, so I might not make it. You're not going anywhere. Seriously, did you watch that game? Seriously, man, they were just as bad as us, man. They're walking. I saw him. His thumbnail this week said something like, who can beat us, or we can't lose a game or something. This is the Collingwood Nuffies who thought that they played well. Well done, mate. You've done a good job. Man. Is Solomon now your coach for life? You should sign him up now, Marco. Sign him up now.
Not yet.
Mark, who are you playing in the grand final, Mark?
This year or next year?
This year.
This year in the reserves?
Next year, Mark. Who are you playing in the grand final next year?
Yeah. Next year, he'll be playing in the grand final. I reckon it'll be Essendon and probably Freo next year.
Oh, okay.
I'm just writing it down, man. I'm just writing this down. I'm putting the date down here.
New coach, new plans, new game plan, new players, new club. We'll be playing the grand final.
Yeah, I'm glad to make some confidence. All right, everyone. I think this is what we're here for. What are we here for? This one right here. We'll talk some footy. There's always something to talk about in the AFL. And for everyone asking, Manny will be back. As I said, he's got some family over. He's getting ready for the big trip tomorrow. So he's going to definitely join us in the second half to gloat about his Collingwood win there. So I thought, all right, we've got a lot to talk about in the AFL, as always. I want to start off with, and anyone in the chat want to talk about something? I mean, we could go into umpires again. They actually weren't that bad. They were terrible this week, but they weren't awful, if that makes sense. They maybe were a little bit better than normal. You know what I mean? There was a bit of a wasn't there one where again the taunting rule was that
Yeah.
given this week to a Fremantle player? What do you think about that rule there, Lucas? The taunting rule.
Absolute BS. Have we gone that woke and soft now? We can't even tap someone on their head. What a load of crap. Game's absolute gone, in my opinion. Like, come on, seriously. I understand that, you know, why it's there, but we're talking about someone patting someone on the head. You know, like, and to be fair, like, if you miss one 5 meters out, you deserve more than a pat on the head. That's for damn sure.
I agree. I agree.
So that's actually being kind. No, it's just an absolute joke. Imagine giving away a free kick for patting someone on the head. This game's gone absolutely mad.
And I heard Swan, he was talking on one of the shows, and first of all, he's talking about some AI thing they're doing about the rules and that, which didn't make any fucking sense, because what are we going to do after the game? They're going to look at it and tell us where they got it right or wrong. How about you just get it right on the day? So he doesn't know. I think he should leave. He was a good CEO for Brisbane. I think it was. He was at Calm for a while. He's been good, but I think he should just leave. He's done nothing good for this game. But he talks about that taunting rule. He doesn't want it to go into the kids. I get all that. But someone also tapped someone on the ass and kind of stirred him up. It was in that Sydney game. He gave him a bit of a fucking tap on the ass after he gave away a free kick. Why isn't that a free kick? Like, why isn't that taunting? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. Mark, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no, you can certainly tell the difference when the umpires are not influencing the game. And the Carlton Collingwood game, which I did watch, I did notice that there was some decisions. They're always going to make bad decisions, but it didn't look like there was any influence. They just let the game go, and you can tell these days. Yeah,
there was no howlers. There was no howlers that I can think of.
Yeah, and you can tell these days when the umpires are not influencing the game, or they're not involved as much, or playing silly free kicks. So, you know, that's what I noticed, that this week, obviously the umpires are a little bit quieter than what they normally are. So, yeah, no influence in the games, I think, this week, which was pretty good for a change.
That's what they need to do, man. Umpires seriously should not be seen, should not be heard. We should not be talking about them. I think the AFL and Swan and all those should be concentrating on how we can make umpiring a lot easier instead of making it harder. I think they should be concentrating on making it full-time, making it a career for the young people, so we can get young kids who actually want to do this job and build them up from a young age, pay them a wage, pay the umpires full-time, take away one umpire. I think 4's too many. I think we need 3 is enough. That's how I think we can fix it. And let's not try to make new rules every week, right? Let's not at the start of the year try to make up 5 or 6 new rules. Let's just keep it as it is, and just maybe tweak it here and there, and take away the stand rule. Take it away. We don't need it. Take away the ruck rule. We don't need it. And maybe we can go forward.
I think what we also need to possibly do is maybe enforce some rules as well, and maybe make those changes. And I did notice a few times on the weekend, it's happening weekly, is that the rush behind. I think it's a little bit too easy for the player to just, without that pressure. I know they're giving him 5 meters before they can take the ball over. I just think it's still too easy. They've worked it out, and they're rushing the ball too easily across the line. So I think they need to.
What do you reckon they should do? I don't think they can do anything.
Well, you know, I think because they're saying that they're under pressure. You know what I mean? So, but half of the decisions that the players were making just didn't look like there was enough pressure there for them to deliberately, run it through from the point. So I don't know. Maybe just maybe change that up a little bit and just get the players to keep the ball in a little bit more than kind of manipulating that rule by rushing it through for a point. So I just noticed it was quite easy that for a player to just run it through and not get penalised for deliberate, rush behind.
I disagree. I think that rule is ridiculous because, again, it's an interpretation of the umpire. He determines if he's under pressure or not. He should not be having to think about that. That shouldn't be his. They've done it now with the out of bounds, the deliberate out of bounds. Now they've done it with that where they've kind of stopped it where it's the last man touched it, right? They're taking it away from the umpire because the umpire shouldn't determine if it's deliberate or not. Same with the points. Why should it be the umpire? Like you get one umpire and another, they're going to make a different decision over it. I don't like it. I don't like umpires. Umpires should just umpire the rules, not their interpretation. It's ridiculous. There is no interpretation in soccer. I might be wrong, but there's no interpretation in soccer. There's no interpretation in cricket. The rule is the rule. It's either in or it's out. It's just too many. And then you get someone who's going to rush it in and then they'll go, oh, deliberate. Then you get another one who's almost identical and they'll let it go.
It's garbage. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. You're there to what do you mean the umpires or they don't feel underappreciated? See, who cares? What are we there to kiss your ass? You're there to umpire the game. That's it. We don't after that you do what you want. We don't give a damn. You're there to umpire, and you're not doing that well. And it's just absolutely disgraceful. And the AFL Andrew Dillon, he doesn't help the situation. I thought Greg Swan. To be fair, I thought Greg Swan was brought in to help improve. All he's done is created more chaos. Like the stand rule. The stand rule in the SANFL. So it started in the SANFL and AFLW. This last touch rule, when it was contested, it wasn't last touch. Now it can be contested. Someone can punch it over, and it's called last touch. It's an absolute joke, it's too much of the same opinions. And I don't want to turn this into a left versus right thing, but you've got too much of the same ideas. How about we mix it up? How about we get a Jason Dunstall or a Nick Revolt, from a different point of view, to say, you know what, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Maybe we should go in this direction. Greg Swan, he's just a puppet. He's just a puppet. Fiddling along the strings by Andrew Dillon. It's just not good enough. They need new ideas, fresh ideas, other than that circle.
I agree, man. I agree. And that's 100% correct, man. It's 100% correct about it, mate. With these rules, I don't know what they're doing. And every time they bring in a rule, they bring in another problem. That's why this last touch happened, is because previously that it was this deliberate, where you'd kick it along the boundary for 60 meters and then the ball would veer off and then it went off and they would go, insufficient attempt. That's what they call it, right? Now and you're right, with that rule there, it should be if you handball it or kick it, then we give the free kick. But if it's incidental off your feet, right, it should just be throw in. What is wrong with that? Like if they're doing it and then it comes up, and then, Mark, this is your pet hate. They want the game to go quicker, and yet now it's getting slower. Because guess what? Now they go to the arc or they go to the thing every time there's a fucking decision near the boundary. Like, if you don't know from that point, just throw it in. It should just be if you handball it or kick it. And the stand rule is the worst rule in any sport in the history of sport. Since the fucking Greek Olympic Games, right? Since the Greek Olympic Games, the first sporting event, right? This is the worst fucking rule ever. Stand or we give you a 50-meter. You know how damaging a 50-meter penalty is for someone moving 1 centimeter off his mark.
And Rocco, did you hear Greg Swan explain that when he said on 360? Oh well, there's not many around. There's only 6 or 7 around. It's still far too many. 6 is too many. Far too many. Get it right, mate. I don't want to hear, well, 6 around, it's here to stay. That is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. 6 is already too many.
100%. 6 is too many. That's the way you should be looking at it. 6 is already too many. That's what the thing is. Like, it's ridiculous. I said this last week or the week before. When they say stand, the players don't know what to do. So you'll get 2 players just standing there. And even if one player then after like 3 or 4 seconds works out that it's not him, it's too late. How much damage can a team do in 2 or 3 seconds? They move ahead. They've also got space. You know what I mean? Because you've had 2 players. Like, I don't know. Don't they understand the game? Like, don't they understand it? Like, they don't feel. They haven't got no feel for the fucking game, mate.
And how embarrassing is it when they're standing? They look around like this. They have, like when they're facing the other way and they're standing like that.
They're standing that way. Like they're scared to move.
Stupid. Yeah, it's
Grand
ridiculous.
Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto. There's Grand Theft Auto when they're walking. They're just like,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
They're making our game into a joke. They're making it into a joke. I mean, I don't want to keep going. I mean, it's the same fucking thing every week with these pricks. You know what I mean? There's always something that makes our game. Liam, you've been quiet there. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah, look, it's kind of standard stuff at the moment, isn't it? Like you said, I think before we got on, it's we've been talking about it for a while, and it's it was a relatively okay week this week in terms of umpiring, but unfortunately, it's just consistently trash, and I guess we're getting used to it. I mean, if they think bringing in AI and then fixing it after the game is done is the solution, no, I don't think so. They need to have a serious look at this at the end of the year and be like, right, they need someone to come in and do like a proper audit, like a proper external review, and be like, right,
and probably get some external people to look at it instead of getting people from the inside. You know what I mean? Get some external people to look at this game. You know, like seriously, they've got a fucking good game and they're slowly ruining it. And Andrew Dillon, he's leaving. He'll leave. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll get his $1 million. He'll leave. You know, he doesn't give a cut. And then it'll be the next person trying to fix it. You know what I mean? But we've already done too much damage to this game. It's still a beautiful game. We'll still watch it every week. We still love our teams. We'll still do all that, but it's frustrating. Like when you go to the game, you feel the frustration in the crowd with the decisions. Like you just feel it. You can hear it. You know, you feel, and then when the whistle blows, no one knows whose free kick it is. Like you don't know. You just wait for the umpire to point. Like I remember going to games, you knew exactly when there was a free kick. Like you knew it was obvious, like there was a push in the back or there was holding a ball, you knew it. But, like now it's like the blow the whistle and you're just going, oh, yes, it's my free kick. It's almost a lottery every time he blows a whistle. Am I going to get it or I'm not going to get this one? You know what I mean? It's very frustrating, man.
That's why the 90s were the best, Rocco, the 90s and the 80s. Well, especially for your club, the 90s.
Yeah, well. Football, but also, of course, for Carlton, but also football in general, I think was better when it was simpler. Yeah. We got a simple game that's a great game. They're just complicating it too more. Like I don't know. Like I would like to know what their end result is. Like I would like to speak to them and go, like, where do you see the game? What's your end target for this? Like, what do you want the game to be? Like, because they would have to have it. Oh, we want it to be that fast that you can't even see the players anymore. We want 1,000 goals. We want, hey, you're doing everything the opposite, right? You're doing everything the opposite, right? You might have it faster at times if a players are getting tired, you're not scoring enough goals. Look at the scores these days. Cohen has only scored 100 points. I know we haven't got it, but how many teams really score 100 points? In our days, Mark, every week your team was scoring 100 points. Yeah. You needed to score 130 to win a game, or else you weren't going to win that game, Now, I actually said on the night with Collingwood, and they ended up getting 90 points. I was saying to Dylan, I reckon the first team they hit 75 wins this game. That's how low we've gone. Like the first one to hit 75 will win this game. Because you just see it.
That's an average of like 3 to 4, not even about 3 goals a quarter. So you're watching the whole. That's an average of about 3 goals
you're right.
a quarter.
When you look at it like that, 3 goals a quarter, 12 goals a game, a team would probably kick about 12 goals. Yeah, you're right.
You're going to the footy to watch, 3 goals in the quarter. I mean, you could sit there years ago and watch, 8 goals kicked in the quarter by your own team.
Yeah.
And then you're getting shit like, right, for example, someone takes a fucking grey mark, the player comes up, rubs his head, and they take the fucking ball away from you.
Yeah.
And you go, what? He just took a grey mark, but now you've taken away because he rubbed his head. I know, I heard his explanation. Mate, I don't agree with it at all. It's not going to go down to the kids. When they're playing at the kids, you fix it there, mate. You fix it there. You fix it there. There's no taunting in there. There's no you make sure you fix it there. But in the big league, let's be serious about this game, mate. Of course, Nick's right. It's all about TV broadcast ratings. They don't care about. That's all they care about. They just care about getting their next deal, getting their $2 billion. They don't give a fuck. What did was McRae who said it, that they've got the technology for better arc vision, right? He said it like last week, right? They've seen that, right? I've heard this a few years ago. It's a dispute between the broadcasting and the AFL on who's going to pay for it. What are we disputing here? AFL, right? You pay for it. You pay for it, not the broadcasters. But you're the one showing it. But it's your game, mate. What are you doing? You're getting $2 billion a year. As I said, umpires, pay them full time. We worked it out, Lucas. You're probably going to end up costing, if you pay these umpires full time, it's probably going to cost you like 50 mil. Yeah. 50 mil. That's nothing in compared to what they get.
But Rocco and Pennell, so what if they won the game fast? The game was fast enough in the 90s. It wasn't like the 90s were slow. It was slow motion. Like they were playing in cement and concrete. It was fast enough. They've just got completely carried away with this fame game, unpredictability. Who gives a shit? Just watch a few tapes of the 90s, mate. Best era. From a football club point of view, we lost 4 grand finals. It wasn't a good era for us, but the quality of football was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's what we should go for. I don't care about how quick the game is. I couldn't care less how quick it is. The quality is the most important thing, and the quality at this point in time is garbage. Absolute garbage.
Yep. Fozjam says something right here. They want it hard and fast, and then we have teams like Richmond who have 6 fit players on the field each week. Quicker, more hectic, more injuries. We don't want to see injuries. I want to see all the best players playing there. Yeah, they talk about more goals. I've talked about this. In 79, I know it's a long time ago, but in 79, Carlton, right, because I've spoken to Marku and that, averaged 120 points a game. 120. It's in 79. And other teams were also averaging 100, whatever. So 120 points a game to average. That's like, how many goals that is? That's like 20 goals a game, maybe 18 goals a game from one team, right? Since then, they wanted more goals. We already were there. We were there. We were there. Now we're trying to chase it again. Now we're just trying. I'll give you an example. It's like Carlton right now. They go, what do we need now? Now we need a forward, right? We need a forward. Now we're hanging out for forward. We had a fucking forward. We had the best forward in the comp. Now we're looking for one. How dumb are you, man? We had him. Now we're looking for one. It's so dumb. Sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone, the old song, yeah?
Scotty Thompson is there. Kangas in Essendon. That was a fantastic game. I was at that game in 2001. We're down by 79 points. I think it might have been half time. We come back
27 to 25 goals. That's 52 goals for the game, mate.
What a game, mate. What a game. I think that those days there, Rocco. Sorry?
You won't ever see that again.
No, you won't ever see it. But I think those days, mate, it was really, you had positions, didn't you? You had your full forward, your pockets, your centre half backs. these days now they just not I wouldn't say flood, but they defend a little bit more, and they, you never see someone sitting around centre half forward when the ball is in the opposite line.
But I get that. I get the
why doesn't a coach just say, let's just go back to basics?
Yeah.
Because I understand what the coach does. The coach just manipulates the rule to win games. I get that. Like, he'll do anything to win a game. So if he's got a flood, he'll flood it. You know what I mean? But instead of the AFL trying to fix that, just let it go, because guess what? The game will sort itself out, because then there'll be the next coach who will come along and he'll come up with a way to beat the flood. That's the beauty of sport, watching someone come up with that next idea. And then what happens is they might have a great era, and then other teams will start to catch up. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at the 80s and 90s, you look at stuff like, I remember Robert Walls, right? He came up with the huddle in the middle of the 50. So he would huddle up the players, and then they would spread out.
Yes.
And then they would get He came up with that, you know what I mean? And then after a while, everyone caught on to it. But he probably won a premiership with that, right? And then they caught on to it. You look at like Pagan. Remember when he used to have Carey? He came up with the thing where he'd run everyone forward, and then Carey would run back into the open 50, get the ball. And then everyone started catching on to that, There was West Coast who had the web. You know what I mean? Everyone comes up with an idea, and then they'll catch it. Just let it be. It's beautiful when someone comes up with something beautiful, and you go, wow, and then everyone catches up with it. Pagan's paddock, exactly right, mate. What's Scotty got to say? Too fast now. Everyone covered the length of the ground to defend, so no one-on-one. There's never any one-on-ones. With rest of play, everyone is fucked. Exactly that. And that's another thing. You think about it. If everyone is so tired, right, how can you expect them kicking accurately? Like, if you run and you're running, and then you take a mark, and everyone goes, oh, you should have kicked it. But sometimes you just run 150 meters, right? And now you want him to lower his heartbeat, right? And in 30 seconds, kick it straight. You know what I mean? Where in our days, Mark, forward stayed where they were.
Correct.
They were a lot more accurate.
And I think once the game started changing and evolving to that, Rocco, I noticed that also you lost some really good talent, champion players. I'll give you an example. Matthew Lloyd, I think at one stage, he could have gone on for a couple more years, sit at full forward. But because the game had changed, he was told that he had to, run up towards the centre and, compete towards, that middle of the ground. So that wasn't his forte. And he retired, honestly, a year or two earlier due to the fact that the game changing, because he was a genuine spearheaded, full forward. Yep. So we lost a lot of good players. We lost a lot of good players that weren't really had good running capabilities, but had great handball skills. So we lost a lot of those players a lot earlier than what we did, these days. So, I think in that era, when it evolved a little bit, we lost some good champions as well playing football. And I hope that doesn't continue, because we will start seeing a lot of players retiring earlier because of the way the game's changing too quickly. You with me? It's changing too quickly. Let's let it go, like you were saying, for another 20 or 30 years, the way it is, and then maybe change it a little bit more.
Let it evolve on its own, Let this game evolve on its own, man. That's the way I look at it. But yeah. And
Rocco, and panel, the sports scientist behind it is one of the most overrated things. Kick a goal, you have to come off. Players have to run, a certain amount of distance, to cover the sports science crap. It's just rubbish. Just leave the game alone. How about that? How about we just try that? Leave the game alone, and then we might have a chance. Yeah.
Sorry, can I ask you a question? You boys can answer it. Why is it? I keep on questioning myself. Why is it when a player is just come on the ground, and he's kicked the ball? And he's gone, and you can see him running back straight off. And I'm thinking, I really don't know unless you boys or anyone in the chat really knows exactly the reason of why that player automatically, the runner doesn't come out and say get off. They automatically get off the ground. Why?
Rotations. Sports scientists, rotations. They have to come off the ground for a certain amount of time as well. That's that again. Sports science.
They're already off the ground.
Yeah.
This is a good point by Enzo. Like Walsh, one of our great players, right? And his kicking's always questioned, but maybe he's just running too much. And he's not concentrating on the kicking, because maybe if he didn't have to do all that, maybe he could concentrate on his kicking a lot more at training. But they probably don't even let him kick for fucking too long.
How many unforced errors are there now? How many turnovers are there now? You know what I mean? So you can see that every week. There's a lot more players. Their skill level is not the way it was 20-odd years ago, because
I agree with that. It might be faster, Mark. It might be faster, but the skill's nowhere near it. And I'd rather skill than speed myself, personally. Yeah.
Like they're missing kicks by 20 meters, unforced, no pressure. You know what I mean? So you're thinking, are you guys playing football or are you playing under 10s? Look, I'm probably bagging a little bit at the Bombers, but I see some teams out there, and I watch a lot of football, and you think, how could you miss that hand pass 5 meters away from your player?
Yeah.
How does it work?
But no, you hit the nail on the head. Like when they come off, just after a break, you're 2 minutes into a quarter and they come off. No, because of rotations, because they have to spend a certain amount of time on the bench. It is absolute rubbish, that sports science. It's the most overrated thing in the AFL.
Wouldn't you be pumped up after you kick a goal? Wouldn't you want to just stay on the ground? You're on fire, mate. Fuck. You're cooling off.
Yeah, that's it. You lose momentum. You lose momentum by taking that player off. So it just doesn't. It's just crap.
Sometimes, as a forward, right, you think about this, maybe a midfielder, but as a forward, right, you kick the goal, you spend more energy running off than if you just stayed there. Just stay there. You rest there. There's 30 seconds, right? Just have a bit of a rest, mate. They bring you the water, the Gatorade. You have a bit of a rest. Because you got to sprint off.
Yeah.
So you sprint off, so you used up all this energy, and then a guy's kicked 2 goals. When a guy's kicked 2 goals, keep him on, mate, because he's on fire. He's on fire.
Rocco, imagine telling Tony Lockett, you have to come off, mate. You just kicked a goal, you have to come off. Mate, he'd pick you up and throw you over the boundary road. It's just ridiculous.
The runner wouldn't even tell him. He'd be too scared to tell him to run off, mate. There's no chance. Imagine they told Dunstall, Lockett, Ablett, Carey, Kernahan, all these players to Modra to get off. They would never have kicked their 100 goals.
No way.
It's too much. You're right. It's too much about sports science and the game, man. Before you go on, before I forget, first of all, thanks to Oz. He's gifted 1 TJP membership. Thank you, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, become a member if you can. If you do become a member, what happens is you don't get ads. So there you go. And also, thanks again to Oz. He is a member for 23 months, just 1 month away from TJ member for 2 years. And he will be at Marvel this weekend for the big game. Well, I might see you there if they let me in.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it, Liam? I want to get your opinion on it.
On
the game itself, like today's game compared to
the game, or the players coming off after goals. That's stupid.
No, the state of today's game compared to the 90s and 80s. What's your opinion on it? What would you do?
He wasn't born in Lucas. He wasn't born in the 90s.
No, he wasn't born in the 80s or the. I think he was born in the 2000s.
He was born in the USA.
I was born in 98. So
I'll rephrase my question for Liam then. What would you, if you were in charge, what would you do? What would you bring to the AFL?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not working there now. I think, like I said, I think they need to go do a deep dive and figure out the errors of the umpiring. I get what you mean around the sports science stuff. I think it's good, but I think it's sometimes a bit too much overkill. You've got to let the game play. I mean, we go on about how it sucks when you see a player get taken off for a goal, but then the flip side as well is like sometimes you see a player get stuck on the bench for like 7 or 8 minutes and they can't get back on. So how does that work? It's like someone's going to stay out there for longer than they're meant to, but what are you meant to do? You can't do anything. You'd rather leave the guy out there who's kicked the goal and playing well and his confidence is up, but Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think you guys are right.
Carl, thank
Sometimes
you.
I wish that we would just.
Oh,
leave
Carl,
it
you got a
alone.
fan there. Are you on camping vacation, they reckon?
No, this is just me. This is my regular wardrobe. Don't worry.
Are you lucky? Hey, Carl, you're lucky he's got a top on tonight, mate. Like I'm telling you now. You're lucky he's got this top on. Usually he does it without the top on. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
No woman wants to see me with a shirt off. Trust me. I'm not looking off, but no one wants to see it. Trust me. I'm not at my cricket days anymore. I'm not 75 kilos. Trust me on that. No, but you make a good point, Liam. That's really good points you made. You know, they do get stuck on the bench, and it also, you know, it becomes a joke because they can't get back on because the ball's stuck on the other side of the ground or something. So yeah, completely agree with that point as well.
Yeah, look, I just think like it's like what we always say. Like, I don't know why we need to change the game so much. But yeah, it would be interesting to see the style of game, how it was played, like earlier days. Like, you know, like having like your traditional like park at home full forward. But then I guess it's kind of back to the point that Rocco was making about how, you know, you had things like the huddle come into existence, and then it works for a couple of years, then it gets upgraded. I feel like that's just more how the game's moved. It's kind of like, and to be honest, right now, like in terms of one-on-one defenders and like one-on-one, like there's no good one-on-one defender. Like all the best defenders are like the intercept players.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get like that.
Yeah.
Starting to get like that. It's a bit more, if you're not an intercept defender, I mean, those stay-home defenders, I mean, they talk about Wiedering like that, which baffles me, right? Like he's one of the probably top 3 back defenders there is in the league, and people are going, oh, he's not fast enough, or he's not. Hey, not every defender has to be a running back defender. That you need that one-on-one to play on those big players. But now you need to be like, you need to have pace, you need to run, you need to be an intercept defender. Hey, Bruce Dorr, one of the great players in this game, not only for Carlton, right? He used to get BOG with 3 possessions, right? Because he used to defend, and the forward used to end up with 0 goals, 0 marks, you know, but he was just a great, like, what's wrong with that? You know, maybe I'm just old school, but Mark, those old battles, you know, the one-on-one, all game, you knew it, all game, mate, one-on-one, you just knew it. And then sometimes the forward used to win, kick 4 goals, you know, and then the next time the defender used to come back and win it, you know, and that was the big difference. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm just old school. I love the old-fashioned battle. I also love the old-fashioned where endurance of a team, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the game, who can outlast it? Not just rotations and how many kids can we get on there. Who can last it? Well, some of our great players, someone like, for example, like a Craig Bradley, right? Champion of not only fucking Carlton, but the AFL. That bloke, by the end of the game, right, after running 10Ks, 20Ks, sorry, he could still keep running, right? That was your difference. That was your point of difference, right? Now, do we get that? Because they're all off the ground, you know what I mean? You can't get, I want to see a team tired, you know, and then fight its way for victory, you know, and that's what I want to see. But anyway, am I just being an old
that made me think of one other thing is like this is why I don't mind the 6-6-6 rule. It actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I really don't like is when they like flood an area, or when like every player is at a stoppage and it doesn't move. Like our game a couple of weeks ago, Richmond Carlton, like we had a minute left, 2 points down. But there was a stoppage every 5 seconds. Because
there was 36 players inside the 50.
And I was like, well, what are we going to do? And then if we get it out, who's going to get it? There's no one there. Everyone's at the same spot. So, yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, when I go back and watch old highlights, I really enjoy watching those one-on-ones. Just,
Oh,
it's
And
just,
you'll
it's
notice
pure
too, Liam,
football.
that they never went backwards, mate. You
Players
know,
going head to head.
yeah, they never went backwards. They never looked backwards. The players never looked backwards, especially the backmen. They just kept running forward, and then continuously the other side, forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, massive changes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we can go on about this forever. I want to talk about someone else, and it's a coach. One of the great coaches. I might go straight to Liam here because this is someone close to your heart here. Damien Hardwick. He seems to have lost the plot. He seems to have lost the team. He seems to have lost the players. And he seems to be lost the love of his club because now they're turning on him too. How do you see that? He looks like he's under pressure, doesn't he?
Do you know what? He absolutely has to be. I think we spoke very briefly about it last week, but I said they're under the pump because you look at where they were like first 3 or 4 weeks in the season. Everyone was like, "How good the Gold Coast? You know, they're playing fantastic."
Favorites.
They have dropped so much, and I don't know what the reason is. Because I mean, we had a question come to us earlier in the year about who's got the better list, Gold Coast or Richmond. Back when we were winning, I was like, Gold Coast has the better list, and that's why I'm struggling to see the problems. Like, and in terms of Dimmer, I think he's lost the playing group at the minute. I don't think that they're buying into him, and particularly his last few weeks in the media, he's been lashing out. He's like, and not just like in his normal way. Like you can tell that something's off and something's amiss. He just seems angry and frustrated with the whole situation. He doesn't have the support of his players. I'm not sure if he has the support of the club. Maybe not this year, but I would not be surprised if they make a move soon because he's got all the tools.
Mate, that would be huge.
He's not getting it done.
That would be huge. That would be huge if they make a move on him because they made finals for the first time last year.
Yeah. I mean, he's done everything he can, but this is the best chance that Gold Coast have had. And how many games have they lost in a row now? 8?
Yeah.
8 in a row. They're going to lose 9 this week with us.
Yeah.
Ben King has now been talked about going to Hawthorn. They're losing players. They're signing players on big contracts, you know, and now they're 14th and they're not going to make the finals. You know, this is a disaster. I don't think they'll get rid of him, but what I've been hearing, man, the players aren't happy with him. The captain's not happy with him. Like, what's going on?
Well, that's why I mean, like, they may make the move. They've got to pick between the talented list that they have, or I guess the proven coach that they have. Both are pretty good,
maybe.
but if he's struggling to get the best out of a guy who's just won a Brownlow, I mean, Petrarca looked like he was going to win the Brownlow at the start of the season. He's already got the premiership and a Norm Smith, and he doesn't want to play for you. Gee, you've got to ask: are the players 100%. Not responding to him? Is it his problem? I don't know.
I find it amazing that what's happening. It's almost the biggest story of the year when you think about it. Like, if this bloke gets the sack or can't handle his players, is his ego too big? Like they were talking about it today, is someone like him and a Ross Lyon, their ego's so big that they won't listen to anyone. Like because Ross Lyon's not, he's not, he hasn't won a flag or anything, but he's been right up there, been a coach for a long time. He's got that personality. I wonder if that's instead of being something that they need, it's a hindrance to the whole team. You know what I mean? Like, do they need someone else? It's going to be an interesting question. Lucas?
This is the most extraordinary thing I've seen in a long, long time. They were 7-3. They were 7-3. Opening round, they pumped us by 50 points. Absolutely blew us off the park. And you thought, here we go. The Suns have finally risen. 7-3. And Mark would know this. They had this horrible game against Essendon and Gold Coast. where they looked. Essendon probably should have won that game, to be honest. Since then, they have been awful. They have not won since they played Port Adelaide in Darwin. Could be wrong there. That was almost 2 months ago.
It is 2 months
the players,
ago.
The players don't look interested. You know, you've signed Petrarca. Liam hit the nail on the head. He looks like the first 4 weeks he looked like he was going to win the Brownlow. He was averaging 30 disposals and 2 goals a game, Christian Petrarca. He looks nothing like that player. They've got Brownlow medalists in that midfield, A-graders in that midfield, Norm Smith medalists in that midfield, but every single week they get blown in the midfield. They get blown in the inside. That is just unacceptable by talented. Everywhere you look, panel. Everywhere you look, there's an A-grader there. You know, Noble's had a fantastic year there. Jeffrey's a fantastic halfback flanker. You know, Ben King, Petrarca, Royale, Anderson, Turk Miller. You know, everywhere you look, they've got a good ruckman as well. Everywhere you look,
you just named some fucking good players there, man. Really, some top-end players there.
Their list, if you go by list alone and talent, they are behind Fremantle, they're the second most. They should be second on the ladder. Where are they? They're nowhere. They're in no man's land. Their coaches gave up on them. They can theoretically still make the wild card, but the coaches gave up on them. That's unacceptable. When I heard that, if I was a player and I heard that, I'm thinking, why the fuck am I playing? I might as well go on holiday. Yeah, they've got no passion. Yeah, they've got no passion, no heart whatsoever. And like I said, they were 7-3. 7-3. Top of the ladder, looking $1 million. Then the Essendon game came along, and ever since then, they don't want to put in the hard work. Peter hit the nail on the head in your chat. It's a city where no team's been successful. The Gold Coast Titans, the rugby team, they've been in there just as long as the Suns. You know, they haven't made any prelims. They haven't made any grand finals. It just doesn't work up there.
Maybe Dimmer's gone up there, mate, for a holiday, buddy. You know, he's taken full for granted a little bit. He's achieved what he's had to achieve at Richmond. You know, he's won 3 flags, and he's thought, "Fuck this! I might as well get paid and go on a holiday for 2 or 3 years." So, as you were saying, Lucas, they have got the list there, and this is their opportunity to do something now, not the next couple of years. So that's very disappointing with that list.
Go on, Rocco.
I was going to say, you wouldn't think that he would do that. I don't think he would go there just for a holiday, man. The bloke's
I'm being sarcastic about it, but you know what I mean? I'd go to Queensland for 2 or 3 years and get paid doing it, mate. Wouldn't you?
He's gone. He thinks it's like a Richmond list where it's ready-made. He doesn't want to rebuild. That's why he left Richmond. He's not interested in the rebuild. He wants a ready-made list. He thought this would be the ready-made list, and to be honest, it should, on paper, we just said, everywhere you look in every position, there's talent. Right, so he's gone there and thinking, you know what, it's going to happen. And mate, when it hasn't happened, he's folded. He's actually gave up on them. That's a terrible thing for a coach to do, is to give up on players.
And you know what, a couple of weeks ago, I did say something to Lucas, Rocco, and Liam on the show about Damien Hardwick that if he goes, he might be actually, looking at the Essendon job.
Well, before you go there,
that's why he's probably doing it. You just don't know, mate. You just don't know.
You're reading my mind, but I just want to. This is Lana Owens, one of our great fans. She's fantastic. Hello to Lana and Joe, her mum. Is this guy the Audi Catman? Now, I just want to say something. Fuck the Catman. The Catman has nothing on Lucas, man. Lucas is the only true Geelong supporter who tells it as it is, man. And seriously, if you want to have some entertainment, you watch his Geelong watch-alongs. Mate, I'm telling you, you are entertainment plus, and you are as honest as the day, man. You don't hold back on this team. So don't worry. Don't you ever put the Catman and Lucas in the same fucking word, in the same sentence there, mate. So there. But you're right, Mark. I was going to ask you that. Would you take Damien Hardwick if all of a sudden he wanted to come to Essendon?
I would, mate. Yeah, I would. Yep.
Wow.
If you're nominated to coach the Essendon, and you don't know, Rocco, you just don't know, buddy, what's happening behind closed doors. So
I'm sick of this.
You've seen the position there. He's seen an opportunity to go back to his old club.
Is a plumber. This hearing, you never know. That's all you live on, Mark. You never know. You never know. You never know. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. All I heard was All I heard was he probably just went there. He doesn't want to rebuild the side. He wants an established side. And then you said, because you're rebuilding, oh yeah, I'll take him. He doesn't want to rebuild, mate. He's not going to be good for your list, man. All right, would you rather Hardwick next year or Hurd? There you go.
Give me Hurd first.
I'm telling you, you are touched in the brain, mate. Something's wrong with you, mate. Something is wrong with you.
You want to be quiet lately, hasn't it?
Just sign him up now. Just sign him up now.
Let him coaching now. Why don't they coach him? What do they have to wait for the interim coach? What if you find a coach? Just put him on. Put him on for 5 or 6 weeks before the end of the season. Get him to have all the players. You know,
you've got to go through the process. What process have you gone through, Mark?
Well, what was a 5 or 6 week process, isn't it? Or longer?
For sure. So, if you've got to interview 4 or 5 coaches and they've got to come back 2 or 3 times for interviews, right? How long do you think that will take?
Say a 5 or 6 week process, wouldn't it?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it can't be like it can't be a rush thing.
No, I'm not saying to rush it, but I'm saying when did they sack Carlton's coach? What round was it?
Oh,
round 9?
9.
Maybe. So round 9 they've sacked your coach, right? So you've got, say, your interim coach come through.
Yeah, but not the interim coach. But we weren't.
So say the next 5 or 6 weeks.
But we weren't interviewing. We weren't interviewing coaches straight away. We didn't interview the next day. But what they did was they got the interim coach. They waited a few weeks. Then they put together a committee. Then they started like looking at coaches. Then they started to like.
So say by round 17, say by around 17, 18, they know who the next Carlton coach is going to be. Let's say it's it's fucking whoever, right? Now there's still 4 or 5 games to go to the end of the year. Would you want that coach to take over from the interim coach? Give that coach an opportunity to see what talent he's got on the field, and start being more proactive for preseason next year. Would you be happy with something like? I'd be happy for something if they chose James Hurd now and cut the bullshit. I'd be happy for him to coach the next 3 or 4 games towards the end of the year.
Before we go on, Lucas, her apologies. Lana is a beautiful lady, and
I took it as a compliment. With all the names that I've been called, that's a compliment calling me Catman. I'll take it.
Don't you ever call him Catman, man. He's nowhere near the Catman. Hey, listen, for once in your life, Mark, you've asked a very interesting question, which I'm not going to answer because I don't think I'm the one to answer it, but I'm going to put it down to these 2 guys at the bottom. What Mark said, is that a good idea? If you know who your coach is going to be now, right? You've gone through the process. You've cut it down. You've decided that it's going to be Fraser, let's say, right? We'll just use, there's 3 others there, but let's say it's Fraser, right? Would you appoint him now so he can finish off the year, get into the draft, and then worry about next year? Or would you wait like everyone does till the end of the year? I'll start with you, Lucas.
No, I'd bring him in because the coach that's taken over now, Solomon, he's just a caretaker coach. If you've ruled him out, then there's no point, there's no hard feelings, he's not going to get upset or crack the shits or whatnot. No, bring in if your coach is James Hurd now, bring him in. Bring him in now. Caretaker coach, he's not there to take over, he's just there it's a temporary, a caretaker coach, Rocco, is just there temporary, unless you make him a coach at the end of the year or whatnot. So my thing is, if I was there in support, I'd want in the coach. If you think that's James Hurd, then come out and say it. Right? Put James Hurd in the seat. He can coach the last 5-6 games, no problem at all. Dean Solomon can stick around. It's not like Dean Solomon is going to be booted out. He's still part of Essendon at the end of the day. So bring in the coach, have an idea of a game plan, and try to play. Try to see what happens. Right? This 5-6 weeks, this is what footy's like under James Hurd. And so you get an idea of what you want to be, what your list wants to be. So I'd bring him in now. If you're not confident, then no. But if you've got your coach right now, then you bring him in. Don't fuck around. Don't waste other people's time. Yeah.
To be quite honest, very, very rarely now you get coaches really being sacked after, say, round 9 and 10. Majority of the coaches that get sacked normally get sacked between around 17 and say 20, and then the interim coach comes in and finishes off the season for them, right?
The problem is
coaches are getting sacked earlier. Why have an interim coach for 13 weeks and go?
Because I'll tell you why, Mark, and this is the main.
Player, I get it, but the season's gone. You know what I mean? Like
this is again because you don't think, right? Because you got that mush brain, that Essendon mush brain of yours. Because let's say because Fraser hasn't gone through the processes, right? So the other ones are, I think, Kelly, Graham. If someone can help me, I think we've gone down to 3 or 4. Who? Enright is the other one. All right. So they're the ones who are now leading the list on who might be. They're leading the charge on who might be. Enright, yep. Thanks, guys. Where are they now, Mark? Where are they? Where's Enright?
Where is he? I don't know where he is. Where is he?
He's at St Kilda. He's at St Kilda. Where's Kelly? Where's Kelly?
Didn't you guys have
Wait a sec. Let me just answer this. Where's Enright? He's at St Kilda. Where's Kelly? Oh, he's at Geelong. Where's Graham? He's at Fremantle, right, as assistant coaches. So what you want to happen, because you're a selfish bloke, is you want to say to, let's say a Fremantle, just say we pick Graham. We want to say, hey, Fremantle, you're on the verge of a finals campaign, right? But we're going to take Graham now, and you're going to be without an assistant coach. How can that happen, Mark? You're not going to get an assistant coach who hasn't got a job.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Already in a job. So you can't do what you're saying.
Yeah, I know that. Look, I'm saying very rarely you have coaches being sacked by round 9 and 10. I just look at it as being 13 weeks without just having an interim coaches.
But regardless, you can't. Yeah. You can't put in a coach because they've got a job already.
No, that's a good point. No, that's the other side of the argument. Yeah. But if for instance, James Hird is not coaching anywhere else, that can be a lot more plausible. But no, I agree with that. If you've got an assistant coach you've got a coach in mind that you want to bring in, but is assisting elsewhere, impossible. So I agree with that. Yeah,
very true. If it's a Hird that's not coaching, maybe that can work. But I still wouldn't bring him in as a senior coach. What I would do is I'd bring him in and on the outskirts, oversee everything and keep because someone else said it. You can't have another coach you're going to stack in the middle of the year. That's another one. I would keep him on the outskirts.
I think if they've made that decision that Jimmy Hird's going to coach, then put him in now. I'm saying not to be the head coach and sit there in front of the box there, but
it's never been done. It's never been done. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, because like I said, very rarely you'll get a coach being sacked around 9 or 10. It's more towards the end of the year that they get sacked. So,
what coach would you prefer? I'm not saying James Hird or out of the candidates. I'm talking about what's your perfect coach? What coach do you want? Forget about the name James Hird. Who would you personally want? If you could have anyone in the AFL that's currently available, not Ken Inclear because he's there, who would you take, or is it just James Hird?
Look, to be honest with you, Lucas, I think I'll be looking for somebody that's got aura. Yeah, I think a coach that the players would look up to. I think regardless of who it is, it's more about having an aura and the players listening to what that coach has got to say. I think it's hard to kind of choose a coach. Obviously, some success, but there's nothing wrong with choosing a new coach that hasn't coached before. And obviously, it's a risk to me, especially with our situation at the moment. I believe we need somebody that has got that aura, somebody that has got that people are going to listen to. So that's what I'm looking for, Lucas. That's what I'm looking for at the moment.
I want to move on for this because I have got another question, but I think you're wrong there, Mark, because your players don't give a fuck about James Hird. Half your players have never even seen James Hird play a game, right? And that's the same with us. Like you get we've had players, young kids who they talk and they don't know who these players are. So You can have the biggest aura in the fucking world. I'm telling you now, your young players have never seen James Hird play unless they show him a highlight. So this aura that he's got, they don't give a fuck. You've got an 18-year-old, right? All he's thinking about is trying to get a game. He doesn't give a fuck about. There's no. That's one thing, right?
Yeah,
So
I know where you're going.
I don't think there's this aura.
They know who
about
James Hird is, mate. They know he's a club.
Yeah, but the aura's not there. The aura's not there. It's like you saying, I'll give you one. It's like saying, for me, Harry Valance, one of the great full forwards who played in the 40s. He's probably one of our greatest full forwards. There's no aura there. Yeah. I don't know who the fuck he is. Like, that was 50 years ago. And James Hird, when you think about it, he's like 30, 40 years ago, bro. He's got no aura. I actually believe that it's minus the aura. I believe because the young kids, all they know is the drug saga. They don't care about James Hird. Yeah. He was this champ. They weren't there to feel the aura of James Hird. Our players weren't there to feel the aura of Stephen Kernahan or David Parkins. They weren't there. They're just dealing with now. But but that's your decision. That's what you're saying.
You know, more like like you're saying, like a bit of a fatherhood. You know what I mean? Somebody, you know, for the kids to look up to and listen. You know, have that respect.
But they can look up. They can look up to like an Emride or one of these young coaches who actually. Like if you get someone, for example, an Enright, he's won 3 premierships just recently, right? So when you look up at him, that's someone you go, wow, you know, this is someone I can relate to. But anyway, don't worry about that. We'll move on because Lucas, you can ask Mark that every fucking minute of the day, every day, and you get Jesus Christ going for the job, right? Jesus Christ and God going for the job. And Mark will say, James Hird, I want him, right? So
James Hird is God.
So I tried to leave out the name James Hird, and he still didn't give me another quick answer.
Lou Felino says, Jezza took over from Wars in round 8. Yes, he did. But as far as I know, he took over as an interim coach, and then they appointed him the year after as the full-time coach. So that's
we'll answer that question, Lucas. You know who would it be? Fagan.
Who?
As a coach. Someone like a
Fagan.
Fagan, yeah, okay.
Fagan's a good choice.
Incidentally, he has done rebuilds. So, like Ken Hinkley, I think Ken Hinkley is a great appointment for Tasmania because he's done rebuilds with Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide were on their knees when he took over and he went bang straight with them, Yeah, so, no, that's not a bad answer there, Mark. You want someone that what's the rebuild? Because that's where you're going there. You're going to rebuild. You have to embrace it. So,
I agree. Fagan's actually a good choice because even though he's older, but they love him, he understands the modern game, like because he plays it, you know what I mean? And he has rebuilt aside from nothing. Because when Brisbane and Carlton started out, we were above them like 8 or 10 years ago. We had a better list. And they've won 3 premierships since then, or 2, whatever, you know. And we've done fucking Stuttgarts, right? But I've got a question from Scotty. Coach, thoughts on who's that? DJ Lang wanting to pay Stengel's contract outside of the salary cap. What's that all about?
Well, mate, I'm fed up with Tyson Stengel. Again, champion player, absolutely fantastic for us. All Australian, but my patience was run out with this. You know, he's not training, he's not turning up when he's supposed to play in VFL. He's at a nightclub. I'm glad. You know, there's talks of his exit now. They're negotiating his exit. Whatever needs to be done, I'm at the point where whatever needs to be done, just get him out. It's becoming a distraction. You know, players can say, "Oh, well, it's not really," but it is. You know. It is, and we don't need that. So get him out of there, no matter how it happens, and we can move on from that. But that's a sad situation. That's a very sad situation, and I don't wish that on anyone. what has happened to him, because like I said, he's a champion player, but these things happen, and all you can do is support. But if sometimes, as Chris Scott said, Rocco, we're not a charity. We sympathise, with empathy with him, but we're not a charity. We are at the end of the day a business, and the business point of view is to cut ties with him. We've gave him every chance, and he's just not coming to the table, and that's what you have to do. So it's a sad situation, but you get him out of there, get him whatever it takes to get him out of there. So if you have to pay his salary, if it's part of the soft cap, hard cap, whatever, so be it. Way it is.
I agree, and it's a bit like the Bobby Hill scenario, right?
Yeah.
And not so much, but maybe the Elijah Hollands, that was a bit different. But it's these players that have got outside issues. We don't know what they are, and I don't want to discuss what they are, but they've got these outside issues, and then the club can't get them back to what they were, right? So now you got Stengel, and the other one is Bobby Hill from Collingwood. He's the other one they're both good players. They're both the same sort of player, actually. They're small forwards, they can kick goals, be damaging, both premiership players. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask Liam and Mark this. Would you look at taking a Bobby Hill or a Stengel to your club?
Oh, look, if you're going on talent base, yeah, you definitely would. Honestly, I don't. With all the stuff that's going on and all the news that we're hearing about that, and they can't even commit to the club that they're at, I don't know if I'd want to take that risk. I think that's always something that frustrates me. We grow up as kids, at least I did, wanting to go play in the AFL. Only so many lucky people get that chance, and to see, someone in Stengel's position, getting all the help and support and all the resources, to help him out, get himself right, but just choosing not to take it, choosing to waste it, treating Geelong like a charity, nah, that's frustrating, and that's not the sort of problem that I want to entertain in an AFL team. So yeah, if I was Richmond, I wouldn't be going after him. Gun players, but too much baggage.
I'm with you. I don't want him because we had kind of a little bit the same thing with Elijah Hollands. Like, he had baggage come into the side. A lot of clubs think they can fix that from a player, you know what I mean, and get him, because every once in a while it does happen. You've got someone with a lot of talent, maybe go to the right environment, they can do something. But you could see it fell away. Now you got these two guys. I don't want him. Mark, would you be interested in a Stengel or a Hill?
It doesn't look good, does it, boys? But both talented players, absolute beauties of players, and you're seeing this often as well, where players with such great talent are just going walkabouts at the moment. So I haven't really heard much about Stengel. As in like his issues that he's had at the club, but Bobby Hill, obviously through the media and so forth, it looks like that's his second club now. It's probably his second chance as well. So I'll probably take a risk on maybe Stengel, to be honest. I could see him fit perfectly in the forward pocket at the Essendon Football Club, but it's a risk you're taking. But it's only because I haven't really heard too much about his issues at the club.
Well, you heard Lucas. You heard Lucas what he was saying. Like, he's not turning up to training.
I don't know. Maybe he's not. He's just probably not happy with maybe some of the choices that the club's made towards him. I don't know. I don't know personally. But with Bobby Hill, it seems to be an ongoing issue for years. So you're taking a massive risk on that player. But Stengel, I'd certainly, if he was in the draft there, and I'd certainly probably take him for nothing.
Oh, you're more than you're more than welcome to. I won't stop you from that. But
I wouldn't.
Players can change. Players can change. Different environment, different coach, maybe. He's obviously disgruntled about something.
Yeah, I don't know what that per se is. Geelong have kept that, unlike the Bobby Hill thing. Geelong have kept that very privately.
I
don't want to assume. I don't want to get anyone in trouble and whatnot. But what I will say is that he's been on and off. So we've gave him every chance, as Liam says. We've gave him all the help he needs. There were times where he was playing VFL, and he came back to the VFL a month ago. He kicked 4 goals. He looked fantastic. And then, they were playing a game against Southport in the Gold Coast. Tyson Stengel, can you report to the airline? Goes missing. 8 hours later in a nightclub. So we've done everything we possibly can to help this kid. Like I said, it's a very sad situation, but if you're not going to help yourself, when help is being given to you relentlessly by the club, you have to let him go. And that's just a sad situation. He just has to be let go.
It's a big loss, mate, because he's a great forward. He's a potential goal kicker, and he looked dangerous every time the ball went there. So he's going to be a massive loss to Geelong. And I think that's the reason in some ways they're, I wouldn't say struggling, but, his influence in the game and his goal pressure sense is going to be really missed, mate, at the Cats, mate, because they're very hard to find those players.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's no doubt on it. When he's in our team, he's in our best 22. He's in our best 10. He's that important. He brings pressure when the ball is on the ground. He's a little goal sneak. He only needs one chance a game. He'll kick the goal. He's very crucial to our system.
And I think, to be honest, we're looking at a player in that category at the moment. We need a player that's very similar. I think we're heading towards Keiko and our Haka. Very similar type players as Stengel, so haven't produced to that level as yet. So, like I was saying, they're very hard players to get that, don't get too much disposal, but when they do get the disposals, mate, they can put some damage on the score.
Mark. No, I was going to say the problem is, Mark, see, you're looking at their talent. But to me, a club like Carlton, and I think we're ahead of you in this, and especially Essendon, you've got to worry about culture. Don't worry about talent.
Of course.
Fuck the talent.
Yeah.
Man, we're not gonna be finals contention for years. You're not gonna be for double that. I'm telling you now, to build a team, and if your culture's fucked,
that's our priority.
It goes backwards real quick. Now, can you imagine bringing in someone who's troubled like that? The rest of the team, and they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy, man. They got their own issues, man. I'm trying to get a game. Now you're bringing in this bloke. He's not even coming to training. Then you got this harmony in the club. No one's happy. Like, it's just not worth.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Like Vic said, and I think we said it too. We'll help these players outside of the game. Do what you can. Make sure their lives in order, right? But we're not a charity case here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we give you everything you want, and then you still fucking it up. All right, maybe the game has gone past you. It's done now. You know what I mean? You haven't got it because AFL football, the top sport in Australia, 80%'s up in the head. They've all got skill, 80%'s up in their head. And if you haven't got that and you don't want it and you don't want to play as a team, man, you're just setting us behind, and then you're taking up a list spot. So I get what you're saying about talent, right?
Yeah.
But if they haven't got it, man. They can have all the talent in the world.
Talent doesn't mean attitude. Yeah.
Exactly.
At the end, it's attitude. So they can have all the talent in the world, as Rocco just said, but if their attitude's not there,
exactly.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. It's part of if you can actually manage them as well. Like, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of basketball, but like that Chicago's Bulls team way back when, they had Dennis Rodman, bit of a wild bloke off the court, but when they brought him on, like the question that Michael Jordan asked his coach, Phil Jackson, was, can you manage this bloke?
Yes.
Because I know he's a gun player. I know he's going to do what I need him to do on the court, but can you manage him?
And they did. And they did.
Yeah. So it can be done.
It can be.
I was going to ask a question to Lucas, though, about Tyson Stengel. He actually started his career on our list. Then he went to Adelaide. Now he's come to Geelong, and things are coming around. Now, we've obviously established we all think he's a talented player. Do you think there was maybe some existing problems already? Because I'm trying to think if he's out on the way out of his third club when he's about my age, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't want to get anyone into trouble and assume something, but so he came from your list and then he went to Adelaide and he had some problems there. then he played Sandford. He actually played Woodville. He actually played in a premiership winning team in the Sandford. And then we threw him a lifeline. No other club wanted him. Everyone passed on him. Geelong said, you know what? We believe in this kid. He's got tremendous talent. We can turn him around. And there's nothing wrong with that. If a club thinks they can turn a player around, go for it. And look, for the first 3 years it did. He won us a flag. He was all Australian. He was absolutely fantastic. And even last year when he was playing, he was good. It wasn't like he was bad. He was pretty good for us last year. He's had problems off field. I'm not sure what they are. And then it's just extended. He's came back to the club, training, month off training. Bigger and bigger problems. Came back to the club, bigger and bigger problems. I'm not saying that because I don't want to get in trouble. I actually don't know. I don't know because Geelong, unlike Bobby Hill, they've kept it private. They've kept it privately. They say mental health stuff, other stuff, which is fine. If it's mental health, that's fine. But at the same time, it's not like we've said you play or you either come to training or we delist you. We're not like that. No, we've gave him every single chance. And he showed good signs. He played VFL in that game. Supposed to play the second week. Didn't turn up for his flight. Nightclub 8 hours later. We've done everything we possibly can with this guy, and it hasn't worked. And like I said, Chris Scott in his press conference, he sympathises with Stengel, what he's going through, but at the same time, he's not a charity case. But I think he's had this. To answer your question directly, I think he's had this kind of problem since probably the pre-season of this year, start of pre-season, and then it's gone bigger and worse and worse, and we haven't quite figured it out. Only Geelong know, but whatever they're doing isn't working. And if you're not going to help yourself, well, there's nothing you really can do, is there? Sadly.
Yeah. We got a comment from Scotty. It's funny how the coach, who's Lucas, has more of a POM vocab than Liam just because he's from South Australia.
Oh, shit, a bit harsh on Liam.
I've copped the side punch there. I think that's
you're
not
just
nice.
sitting there nice and quiet and you've been copping it. Hey, one more and then I'm going to move on. One more question. Because he's asked this twice, so I'll put it up. If a player has no problem, the club is willing to take a risk on them. Should the AFL allow the club to receive a pick or player compensation if that particular player withdraws permanently? So do you understand the question? Should they get it? If they think, all right, we'll give him a chance, and then it doesn't work out and he leaves on his own accord, should we get or should the club get a compensation pick?
Well,
no.
My answer is no. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I'll ask another question of it. If I have a player who round one goes out and gets injured, do we get a pick back? We get the mid-season pick. I get that, but it's going to be like, unlucky. Or if he gets concussed and he gets forced to medically retire, do I get compensated for that? Because
the thing is, what if he then comes in and wins you 2 premierships and becomes your best player? Then like say you're kind of having it a bit both ways there. If it works, good. If it doesn't, I want to start again. No. You can't have that, So that's unfortunate. What we're going to do is the chat's been good. Do you mind staying on a bit more, Lucas?
For you guys, mate, of course I will, because it's you guys, of course.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into the other games. Matty hasn't joined us yet, so bad luck. So we've got to get through the other games. You can help us. I'm sure you've watched all the games and you know a bit about it, so we can talk about the other games. So how does that sound? Because it's already, I can't believe it. I don't know if it's Lucas or not, but it's already been an hour and a half. What is going on, mate? And the chat's loving you, mate. They're loving the hat. We love the hat.
No, it's actually good. It's actually good because every time I wear this on around Geelong fans, they seem to say, "Get that stupid wizard hat off! You're a dickhead. You're a disgrace to the club." You've got no problem with the wizard hat. You've got no problem.
Here we go.
I do have a bit of a problem with it, but...
Now that's a hat, mate. That's a hat.
Okay.
What is that?
Liam, you have no connection to Hawthorn.
No.
I hate Hawthorn. They just beat us on the weekend.
Well, I hate Hawthorn too. They cost us 89. We waited 15 years to play them in 08. We blew that one. I hate the SOBs as much as anybody. But no, Watson's a good player. I like the Wizard. I wish he was at our club.
He's a little flog. He kicked one of the goals of the year on the weekend. I was very upset.
And he'll do that every week. Lucas, you're way better looking than Manny. The hat's the bomb. See, you're getting, mate. I'm telling you.
We're having some fun, Rocco.
They love your hat. Oh, the fucking ever since Cottrell played the bloody harmonica, he's been shit out, bro. How about you jam that harmonica right up your bloody clacker, mate? No more
harmonica. Can't see it coming out at the moment, Rocco, do we? No more fun and games after the game now, is there, Rocco?
No, we're doing all right. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk. Don't get too smart because you won one game in fucking 30, bro. Relax. We'll get onto your shit, mate. 8 goals, 16. I wouldn't be too fucking confident there. Relax. Anyway, we'll talk about your game soon. We won't jump ahead. But let's go into this. Talk about the first game in the rival round was Collingwood on the Saturday night. 90-69, ended up losing by 21 points. Was close, fairly close all night, I suppose. To tell you the truth, it wasn't a good game by both clubs. It was pretty shocking. The turnovers was something ridiculous, like 45, 50 each. I mean, they were turning over the ball more than what we were. The difference was they capitalized when they got the ball. That's all. I mean, we had 3 or 4 shots. I'm not making excuses here, mind you. We weren't great, but we weren't that bad either. Man. We had numerous attempts at goal. I mean, fucking hell. Bloody hell, man. Kemp, Brody Kebab there. Man, he's missing 3 goals from fucking 30 out. You know what I mean? Then you get, we had 3 or 4 more shots that were like the worst kicks I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if we would have won, but you're definitely putting pressure on the team if you start kicking those goals, man. And I'm not talking you're missing 50 or from the boundary. I'm talking like directly in front when they should have just been goals, you know? Like you've got to kick those goals. I don't get it, but we were talking about this last time. What do we expect from our fucking side? We've got 2 backmen as our main forwards. It was never going to what do you think? They're only doing the best they can. They're 2 backmen doing the best they can. They've kicked 21 goals or 22 goals each, which is remarkable for them to. Then we lose Harry Mackay in the first quarter. So that was never going to help us, man, because not only is he going to be that marking forward up the forward line, he's our second ruck. All of a sudden, we have people like Akers, Kemp, rucking in the ruck. So we lost that, and Cameron killed us. Reedy is an okay ruckman, but he can't ruck out a whole game. We need that. We need that second ruck for that. And then we lost Chera. Also, so we were down 2 rotations. All of a sudden, our wings, Chera's one of our wingmen. Akers had a terrible game. Our wings weren't keeping their width. They just got beaten around the ground. I think our mate Vince from Blue Sunday put this perfectly. They didn't win the game when they had the ball. They won the game when they didn't have the ball. They were more ferocious when they didn't have the ball. They were more ferocious around the ball. That's where they won the game. At the end of the game, 21 points. Am I upset that we lost to Collingwood? Yeah, fucking oath. Were we terrible? We weren't terrible. But to tell you the truth, that's where we're at. We're at where we are, 12, 11. That's where we're at. Like, we're nowhere better. You know what I mean? So we could have beaten Collingwood. We didn't. They got us. I mean, Cripps still had a good game. Walsh still had a good game. Jagger Smith probably had one of his best games. I really like what he's been doing in the last 6 or 7 weeks, really coming along strong. Haynes, the defense is holding up. But the forward line, Mate, I'm telling you, think about it. We've said this. Our four line at the moment is probably the worst four line Carlton's ever had. We got Kemp and McGovern as our main forwards. Like, what do you want from it? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's another loss to the filth. Any questions?
No, I thought a couple of your young players cracked in hard. I really like
Burns was good.
Burns game.
Yeah, he's really good.
Went really hard. Your boy, Harry Dean.
Harry Dean's
really
always
good.
given 100%, future captain, you know what I mean? As I said, Billy Wilson played well. The young kids did really well. But as I said, it was just off the ball every time we went near the ball. And then a few times, their goals from defence. You can't let Dacos run off like that. You can't. It was a fucking... When he ran off in the second minute of the game, first of all, Brody Kebab there misses a goal from 30 out, right? We could have started off with a goal. He gets a point, and then they let fucking Dacos run 150 meters without being touched. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. It was just poor. I know you can't stop him completely, but I don't think teams do enough to fucking just restrict how damaging he is, you know?
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was gonna say, I was like, as much as you were saying it's when you didn't have the ball, it's right. It was more
100%.
when you guys turned the ball over and you lost it. They pushed hard. They really attacked.
100%.
I think they did that better than you. And that's why they got the win.
100%. That's what they won it. If you think about it, 3 goals. They won it in turnovers, right? And when we turned it over, we weren't capitalizing. When they turned it over, they capitalized. It's simple. They capitalized on their goals. You look at the score. I forget what the points was, but we kicked 3 points. They kicked 3 goals, and there's the margin at the end of the game when you really look at it. That's it. The game's lost almost in the first 10 minutes of the game when you look at it. But we had a chance. We hit the front again, you know what I mean? So we had that chance. Mate, one of the most disappointing things about Carlton was when the ball went into their forward line, our defence, I think it was 4 times when we defended with the punch, we punched directly to the ground in front of our feet. If you're going to fucking punch, right, you make sure that ball goes 50 metres in one direction, or it goes through the points, or it goes to the boundary. You don't punch in front of your feet where there's Collingwood players sitting there. This is stuff you learn in under 14s. Like, you don't punch down. There was just some really dumb football. It was some really dumb football that cost us, you know what I mean? Liam? Lucas?
Yeah, and it happened very quickly because he got in front in that third quarter. And I was watching the game. Unlike Manny, who pretends to watch it, I actually watched this game. And yeah, you got in front.
He's not even here, and he's copping it.
That's the best.
No, sorry, Manny. No, you got in front, but yeah, as he said, Rocco, when they punched the ball, and Collingwood, all their goals in that third quarter came from punches in the contest. They picked it up from the loose ball get, and they kicked the goal. Membry kicked 2 of them.
I know.
Yeah. So you tried to make it an arm wrestle. You bloody did against us when then you kicked away in that fourth quarter. Oh, I can't get over that loss. Oh, and you did it against GWS. You did it against Footscray. So you're trying to bring teams almost to your level, and then kick away in the fourth quarter. You did that to an extent. You did that in the third quarter. It's just that silly mistakes cost you big time. And then in that fourth quarter, Collingwood was the one that blew you away. So I don't think it was as bad as people thought. You were in the game for a lot longer. Yeah, a lot longer. So it's just a couple of mistakes, and against the top 6, top 4, you can't really afford those mistakes compared to the bottom teams. Yeah.
It's tough, and it showed up against Hawthorn. At the end of the day, like as I said, on the night I was fucking pissed. But then reflecting on the game, when I looked at it, I mean, we weren't terrible, but they just were better than us in certain parts. Like the Pies scored 7 goals from transition. You know how damaging that is? 7 goals from transition. How can you allow 7 goals from transition from defense, man? You can't do that. And look, we know that Nick Pies seem to have another gear when required. And you can say whatever you want about the Pies, right? But they have. When they need to, they find another gear. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, they have got the best player in the competition who takes games away from you, man. He's hard to fucking stop, man. He's always finding room, man. Like it's freaky.
Yeah. And on that, the scores from transition, how many times was Dacos involved in those? All of them.
Nearly every time. Nearly every time he's involved. He's the one that's doing the transition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's faster than you think. He's not just, he's quick. He's quick and he hits targets. You know, look, at the end of the day, man, there was no fucking good, man. It's no good losing to that filth, man. They give me the fucking shits, bro, man. They give me the shits, bro.
So as you would say, no Dacos, no Collingwood, yeah. So we're pretty much
could be, and you speak to our mate there, Mick from the Chronicles, and that he says it.
Yeah.
They lose Dacos, they could be in trouble. But at the end of the day, Mark, they've got Dacos. Like, you lose it. Like, everyone wants a player like that. You know what I mean? But what he does is he brings other players into the game.
Correct.
Like in that first goal, he kicks it out, right? Frankie Evans doesn't run with him for only 2 or 3 seconds. He's already beaten him. He kicks it, hits a target, runs past him, receives it, runs another fucking 20 meters, hits fucking Geordie, the Gooey, and then the Gooey kicks it into the full line to Membry or whatever. You know, if you allow your player to do that, you're done.
Is it because maybe no one can run with him, or is it just because they don't want to tag him?
Well, tell me, all right, you give me one player that can run with him, not just in Carlton, any player.
No, well, that's the thing, right? Yeah,
and this is the thing. Because you won't be able to run with him. But I was saying this last night. I hate this attitude of no one can run with him. That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
There's gotta be a way.
Yeah, Mullins did that. We did that when we played Collingwood. He only had 25 touches, Nick. But Mullins he's not a power runner by any means. You know, you still can run with them, but it's the pressure you put on those players. You know, if you run with them and you just let them loose 15 meters away from you, of course they're going to have 37 on a night. Of course they're going to do that. No, you've got to put pressure on them. You've got to, almost like push them to the limit, not give away free kicks.
But style tagger, mate, where you just fucking all you do is you just worry about. Like I've heard coaches say, they don't like the tag because it disrupts your system. Fucking bullshit, man. The old tagger, and David Rhys-Jones said something. Like he says, first of all, he goes, like, he rates Dacos very high, but he gets 10 fucking kicks from the kick in, all right? So there's already 10 kicks that he's been credited for, right? Because he plays on from the square. So he's credited those kicks, right? Yeah. He doesn't get a tag. He was saying in his days, Greg Williams, fucking Craig Bradley, they used to get heavy tags and they used to get 35 possessions a game, right? Yeah. But no one's even challenging that. I want that hard tag. All you do is he'll still get you 25, right? But just try to limit his fucking,
They'll work him out. Some coach out there will work it out. Some coaching panel will work it out eventually.
Look, he's always going to be good, but look, no excuses. We got beaten on the night. They'll learn from this and they'll come back bigger and better this week, mate. That's it. All right, next game.
I'll just quickly have a quick. I wouldn't say it's a segment, okay, but I just want to ask the boys on the bottom here just a quick question. Let's call it pick a player. Now, Lucas,
Mark's coming up with his own segments here. I like it.
Just a quick segment. Just pick the player. So Lucas and Liam. I'll ask you first, Liam. If you had to choose between these two players, Rocco, I can't ask you this question. Jagger Smith or Nate Caddy, who would you have on your side?
I would take for Richmond. I'd actually take Cody at the minute. We need to keep forward.
That's a good question. But Liam's right. It depends on what team you're talking about.
That's okay. Just if you had to pick the two, that's why I said just pick your player. It's not about the talent. It's not about what you're after. Lucas.
But what you've done is you pick two players in different positions. Like
I know. Just that's you might need that player in a position. I'm not asking to give me who would you pick out.
You've got to go two players that are the
They're both
same.
good young players. They're both future players. They're both going to be great champions. You might need a Jagger Smith for your team, or you might not need a Nate Caddy. I don't know, but just answer. If you can answer which one you would take now. Next year.
One thing I will say is when we were doing the draft, I actually thought we were going to take Jagger out of Lawler. That was actually what I wanted. So I'm a big Jagger Smith fan.
Yeah, he's a good player, Jagger, and he's improving every week.
Maybe can I take both?
No.
Yeah, both.
Pick a player. It's called pick a player.
I'll stick with Caddy. We need a forward.
Well, in that case, I'll pick Jagger Smith because every time he plays against Geelong, he has this legacy game. He always does well against us.
He kills it.
But no. If I was to draft, probably Caddy. Probably Caddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Rock, I'll ask you one. So, because obviously I'll ask you one quick because you just missed out. So, for Carlton, Laidlaw from Richmond, or again, it's got nothing to do with talent, different. Jagger, Laidlaw, or Bailey Smith from Geelong? No,
well, that's more similar. So you can actually kind of like look at that. Caddy and Jagger Smith is a stupid comparison because you've got a forward and a midfielder. So
they're both young players. They're both young players. Now I've done it opposite.
You still got to pick like
an older player.
No, but you still got to pick the same position, right?
So you got Lawler and Smith.
No, Lawrence Smith is a good one. I said that's a good one. I said the other one I didn't like, but this one here is actually a good one, right? Fucking hell.
For next year.
How old's Bailey Smith?
26, 27? Yeah, he's not as old as you think.
I would pick Lawler at the moment.
He's 25, yeah.
Oh, 25, okay. Yeah.
He's still young, but I think for a Carlton, I'd pick Lawler.
Yeah, and you've got Cripps, you've got Walsh, you've got Jagger. You don't really need a Bailey Smith, do you, to be honest?
But Bailey Smith, he's damaging, man. The bloke's
yeah.
And he's already established.
He's at his prime, mate.
Look, Bailey Smith would fit nicely into our midfield, just very, very nicely into our midfield.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd probably take Smith myself.
We already
because he's in his prime. We don't know what Laidlaw is going to be like in his prime. He could slip off. But Bailey Smith's had his best football year statistically. So that's good. That's good enough for me so far. Yeah.
If it's for next year, I'm taking Bailey Smith, right?
Yeah.
So I reckon he would improve our team straight away.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, without him, let's put it this way: without Bailey, if Bailey Smith gets injured, our midfield's fucked. We've got no one, mate. We've got a 50-year-old Dangerfield getting in the ball. Come on.
What
about Max Holmes just getting injured?
Yeah, that's a big loss as well. That's a massive big loss as well in Cameron. So, but if it seriously wasn't for Bailey Smith, who's our top 3 player every single week, Bailey Smith, even when we lose, we would be in big trouble. So he's very crucial to our system, Bailey Smith, and he's probably leading the Kaji, which is our best and fairest. He's probably leading that by a mile, to be fair.
Anyway, I like that, Mark. Next week, when you do it, let's pick players that are the same position, and I think it works better. But the second one was good.
Jagger Smith and Nate Caddy, they're number 1. They're both at number 1. Who would you choose?
Yeah, but they're different positions, man. They're different positions, man. What you would say is, would you say Nat Caddy or
the Wizard
or Max or King, or Max King or someone? You know what I mean?
The Wizard and Nate Caddy's completely. I know you're saying as a forward. Then
they're forwards.
Okay.
They're forwards. That's who you'd probably kind of. I don't know who's another one that's on the Nat Caddy kind of.
That's why I couldn't think of one.
Yeah. But go forwards. But all right. So is that going to be you going to come up next week with?
It has to. It can't be your team. So next week it'll be. If Manny's not on next week, is he?
Just what you do. Pick. I'll tell you what to do. Right. Pick 2 players from the midfield, 2 players from the forward, and 2 players from the back.
Okay.
But make them from different sides. Don't make them from our side. All
That'll
right,
be
because
more
then you can kind of you haven't got that
your
fire.
Pick your player.
All right. That's it. Pick your player.
I could do a segment. This is good.
It's good. Yeah.
Mark's always thinking, mate. He's always thinking, mate. Do I have to say any more? Do you want to just go over this? 122 to 52.
Yeah, look. Pretty quick. If we spoke about like a performance from Essendon last week, checking out, this was us checking out this week, a week later. We didn't look interested. We didn't turn up to play. It was a really hard watch. I think it was like 6 goals 11 to 3 goals 11 at 3/4 time. So that final result actually makes us look not as bad as it was. I did say to you guys, I said, I don't want to admit it, but I think this could be a game where we get pumped by 100 points. And to be honest, I think Hawthorn just chilled out in the last quarter and were like, we don't need to go too hard.
Yeah.
We didn't try at all. We definitely checked out. You can see, we spoke about Gold Coast and the players not playing for their coach. I don't think our players were playing for each other or anyone, really. But, didn't look interested. Did not like how we moved the ball. Just like so much stuffing around, so much indecision, a lot of like sideways, nothing kicks in the back line. I was like, that's great. And even then, we weren't even hitting those kicks. Yeah, that was our worst game of the season. And we've had some pretty rough games this season already. I don't want to talk about it anymore. If you guys have some questions, I'll answer them.
I was going to say, Liam, as I know you've had a horrible year, but this is really the first game. I could be wrong here, but this is the first game where you've really blown out. You've actually been competitive in a lot of games. Like you haven't lost like too many of this margin. I could be wrong. So you have been competitive throughout the year. It's not like you've lost like West Coast. They've lost games by 100 points against St Kilda. So this for me was probably your worst loss of the year. My question for you is, what should the pressure be like on Adam Yze? It feels like he's given a pass so far, maybe because it's a young list, maybe because of the injuries, but it seems to me he doesn't get enough criticism compared to other coaches.
Well,
great segue because we had it from the chat too. Thoughts on your coach?
I'm very happy you asked because we had our CEO Shane Dunn come out the week on the weekend, and according to him, Yze is doing an outstanding job. His words. He's doing an outstanding job. Now, I don't know about you guys, but and how you defined outstanding, but if being bottom of the ladder, going backwards, only having 2 wins this season, he's had 9 wins in about 65 games. If that is outstanding performance, well, what's the level above that? Look, Lucas, I've been saying it. I think even Mick came on last week and asked me, do we think he should go? I think he absolutely should move on. I feel like you've got to put some blame on the players this week. We didn't look interested at all. We didn't want to play. But then again, partly that is your job as a coach. You've got to get into the players. You've got to fire them up. You're like, hey, look, Hawthorn's a good team, but let's go out. Let's have a crack. Let's get stuck in. They're not expecting. They're thinking they're going to walk in, get an easy win. Let's try proving them wrong. We didn't do that. I
was trying to be nice to Liam. I was hoping there wasn't a team like that. I was trying to be nice. But Sydney, I think Sydney got a hold of you. Brisbane got a hold of you. Yeah, Brisbane got a hold of you. Yeah. No. Well, there you go then.
I totally think that maybe just, Yze is probably just not the right man for the job. We sometimes criticise the coach too much and say, you're not doing your job properly and so forth. Maybe he's just not a good enough coach. You know what I mean? Maybe they made that wrong decision in appointing him as the Richmond coach, mate. So sometimes you've just got to look at it and be honest and say, if he needs to go, he needs to go, or do you pursue and keep him for what's he contracted for another 2 years or so? Is he, Liam? 2 years?
Well,
3 years?
he's going to coach out the rest of the season. He's going to start next season, and then they've said that they might make a decision next year.
Halfway through.
He's doing an outstanding job. So maybe he's not going to go anywhere.
If they're saying that, there's no that he's gonna be sacked anyway soon. But as you said, you keep losing, you finish on the bottom of the ladder. I think it might be a little bit, not quite, but the same situation as Carlton. You got Voss there, 1 more year. Do you keep him? I mean, you were the same, Mark. Do you keep him for another year, or do you sack him at the end of last year? Then you could have already been on the move this year, but then you keep him. Who knows, man? Whatever you do, you'll be damned if you do, damned if you don't. With this one.
Look, I think he stays. He'll stay this year. He's going to coach the start of next year, I believe. But look, depending what happens. But if we come out start of next season, relatively good injury list, maybe we've somehow brought in another couple good young guns. Maybe we somehow pull another big name in the free agency. But apparently we're still in the running for Zach Butters. He had another meeting with us in the week, so who knows? But I mean, so if we bring in, we get a full list, get to play all those guys together. It's like, for example, it was like Lawler and Hotton's first game together. They got drafted the same year. It's their first game in like 40 games together. So if we get full list, full team playing together, get a couple of other guns in, and we're still struggling, and we're still not getting the results, then it's almost going to force your hand. Really, it's going to be like, all right, look, we've given you enough time. You've been able to build the list you have. You've been able to use your list to its full potential, and you're still not producing. Yeah.
Is this his third year? His third year or second?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're getting into your fourth year, we'd like to see some improvement. That's
why I'm concerned. It's because look, I didn't think we were gonna. I think I said we'd finish 14th this year was my prediction. So it's not like I was like, we're straight to the wild card, or we're going top 8 or whatever. I didn't think that, but I did think we'd see a little bit of improvement. And I thought what I saw in 2025, I was like, look, it's going to take a little while, but this year we've gone backwards. So that's where I'm concerned.
When you're rebuilding, get into your fourth year, you want to see some improvement. Like so you're in the bottom 4. Next year you want to be better than that bottom 4. Like North have taken that. They're still miles away from top 8 and whatnot, but they've taken that next step. Yes, they've played, they've got a soft draw, but they've at least taken that step. That's where you'd probably want to see Richmond next year, Liam. Taking that step. You want to be better than the bottom 4. You want to be around your 14th to 13th type mark, and that will give you a good indicator of where your team really is.
Yeah, and you're spot on that. You're also going to be improving from that position too, Lucas. So you can't just be settled with, we finished 13th or 14th. You need to improve again. Because some teams do consistently stay in that position. I call it the quicksand position, where you're constantly in that position for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. You're sitting in those positions. Yeah.
North is a good example. So North have had a soft draw. Let's not forget that. But they have won 8 games. Okay, that's fine. Now their job is next year to push for wild card, win 10 or 11. As you said, just don't be dormant, just don't go slip away. So that's Richmond's next step. Can they turn into? We're not asking them to make wild card or finals, but can they at least go from bottom to 14th? Can they make 4 or 5 steps? Yeah,
correct. That's the improvement.
100%. And beat. I always say you need to be beating or be competitive with the sides around you. So that's your job. Around those sides around you, you need to be competitive, and you need to be beating those sides and slowly moving up. So if you can do that, then you can start seeing improvement. But at the moment, I think Richmond's a long way from that. All right, before we go on to the next one, I'm just going to remind everyone that make sure tomorrow morning you get your tickets there. 9 p.m. they go out. Andrew Walker, Cody Walker, David Rhys-Jones, and we have got an announcement coming soon, another couple of players, but we're just finalising. Now, there's going to be 40. There's a lot of tickets, but there's going to be 40 tickets that are premium tickets. And if you purchase the premium tickets, you will get the first 2 rows. The first 2 rows, you'll also be getting some merch, and you get early entry into the event. So the first 2 rows, you have reserved seats in the first 2 rows. They're the VIP, and you'll also be getting some merch, some TJP merch, and you'll be able to get better access to the players. So make sure you get on there. I know I actually put that on because I know Rocco Moro is out there, and he's coming down with the whole family. So make sure you get those tickets, guys. They'll be out for sale tomorrow morning.
Be there.
Be there or be square.
Whoa.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. We've been waiting. I mean, Mark has been waiting for this for like only the second time this year, but he's been waiting a long time for this. But 67-64, held on at the end. Big goal by your big 2-meter Peter to put him in front, and then they just held on and won the game. And they were very excited there, Marco.
Did you boys watch the game at all? Any of you boys watched the game?
I'm going to be honest, I was busy, but I did watch the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I was quite surprised that a lot of non-Essendon supporters actually watched this game and supported the Essendon Football Club. So I know they're feeling sorry for us. I get it. I get it. We were barracking for Essendon, and we wanted them to win. Yeah, okay, all right, whatever, move on. So, but look, I mean, it was fantastic. Only I guess for us supporters that haven't had success all year. So it was our second win. I was like I said last week, I was quite looking forward to this game because I just thought it was our home game, and you're playing GWS, and they're not really travelling too well, especially at Marvel. So, it kind of surprised me, but it didn't surprise me that we were going to probably take the points. But it's amazing what just a bit of effort does. Regardless if you're talented, if you've got skill, just comes down to effort. And you could see that across the board. So, all of the players should tend to just, effort, commitment, chase, run, all those kind of things that are really basic in football these days. Skill level wasn't to a standard, as you could probably tell, but it was more about effort. And I was pretty rapt to see Dean Solomon actually coach on the boundary line. A lot of coaches don't do it, and the ones that do it, such as Fagan, also McRae, Goodwin. These coaches have actually won grand finals by coaching down on the boundary line. So it was good to see Solomon down there, and I think felt like it was a bit of a team united for him being down there. So I'm just still looking positive into the young kids, mate, and Roby, Sharp, Caddy, obviously was injured the first quarter. Farrow, Al Haka, Kako. These kids, they're going to be our future. Fantastic bunch of kids, and I think it's the first time that they've all played together. So we have got pretty much a free injury list side at the moment, so we've got plenty of players to choose from. It's good to see all those young fellas playing together. So I think that's a benefit to the boys. So look, at the end of the day, Jakey Stringer, I don't know, at one stage I was watching him and it looked like he was actually meaning to kick those points. He felt sorry for us. You know what I mean? He thought, yeah. I'll let him win. You know what I mean? I'll let the Bombers win. I used to play for him. So, I mean, he kicked 8 points.
7 points he kicked. Now, I was gonna say he kicked 7 points. This reminded a bit of the Carlton Richmond game there, man, when Rich kicked 1 goal, bloody 8. He kicked 7 points. I'm not going to rain on your parade because you deserve to win, but fucking hell, they kicked 16 points, man. They kicked themselves out of this game, But bad kicking is bad footy, mate. Full stop.
And to be quite honest with you, Rocco, as well, probably the last 10 minutes it was tiki touch. They got in front, we got back in front, and then I thought, you know what, they'd probably run away with the game, and it would surprise me if we didn't get the points because we're not used to having that winning feeling.
Yeah, of course.
It was good to see that they continuously just effort, tackle, pressure. Al Haka, again, fantastic towards last minutes of the game. And, obviously Peter Wright kicking the winning goal. So I was wrapped, to be honest. I was happy. You know what I mean? I was just, you've got to give it to me, mate. At the end of the day, I haven't had much success all year. So, little bit disappointed that we're now second last.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that.
You'll probably notice now on my tipping boards that I'm starting to pick Richmond. But as long as we're still competitive and we're winning, but I'm also tipping Richmond every week as well. So, we're touch to get the number one first draft pick. So, all in all, I wasn't the best game of football. I'm not going to be going crazy about the win, but, was just happy to that the boys got the job done. And, we're just going to be looking forward to, keep creating that effort and pressure and see how we go to the end of the year.
I saw this game, Mark, and it's always tough playing under a roof for the Giants case with a 20-goal breeze at your back. But with all due respect, it's good to see Jake Stringer have his Essendon jocks on and win you the game. But no, it wasn't, from a neutral point of view, it was a terrible game, let's be honest. It was terrible. So many stoppages. There wasn't any free-flowing attacking football. However, somehow you won this game. You brought them down to your level. And, full credit to you, Mark. Dean Solomon, I noticed he does stay up the top, so he came down for the first time, tried to get his boys over the line. I really actually like that. You got the win, so fantastic to you, Mark. And as I said,
Lucas, is that GWS the last couple of weeks have actually beaten Geelong and Fremantle. So it's funny how football can change so quickly. And I think we just stopped the tsunami a little bit. There was a game plan to just stop them creating that tsunami flow and effect. So I think Solomon probably coached okay, even though the disposal count wasn't that crash shot, but. I just believe they stopped them. And, to be honest, mate, they did beat Geelong and Fremantle a couple of weeks ago. So I don't understand football sometimes, mate.
Nah, but GWS.
No, Mark. Now, Mark, you've won one game in 100 years. Let's not be silly. With all due respect, if we played you next week, it'd be a massacre. Let's not be silly.
I would.
Gave you credit.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you credit, and you're right. Yes, they did beat GWS. Did beat us. We were up by 39 points, and we blew it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and make those kind of comments.
No, I'm just saying, like I said, Lucas, it's a funny game, football, where you got teams on the bottom of the ladder beating teams that have beaten the top teams. So
GWS.
It doesn't happen every week.
Listen, GWS could be the biggest frauds in the fucking competition, right?
Yeah.
They are frauds, man. With their list, as you said, they're beating Geelong and Fremantle, and then they lose to Essendon, right? And they've kicked 8 goals, 16. Like, they're just frauds, man. Like, I probably should have picked Essendon this week, because after they won those 2 big games, that's GWS. They'll lose the next one. You know what I mean? And you know what? They'll probably beat Sydney this week.
Yes. Yeah. Spot on.
Probably.
They'll probably beat Sydney. And I picked GWS to beat Sydney this week. They'll probably come out and beat fucking Sydney this week.
Yes.
But anyway, enjoy it. And while you're there,
fair play to Mark.
While you're there, we usually get Manny to do it. Are we going to get? I reckon I want to hear Lucas do the ladder today. Can you give us the Lucas ladder?
Well, we feel privileged. I'll try not to stuff up like Manny does. Yes, of course. Fremantle on top of the ladder. Yeah, they're absolutely flying, aren't they? They're going to finish first. Sydney, not really convinced by Sydney. Hawthorn, they've got a very good draw coming up, so they'll probably finish in the top 4. Brisbane, I could say the dark horse, but they're one of the big favourites, aren't they? If they finish top 4, we know what they're like in the finals. The Adelaide Crows hanging around. I think they've improved from last year. I know they went out in straight sets, but I think that will help them in the long run. Melbourne have been very good this year. Stephen King has done an excellent job. They've got us this week, Rocco. I've actually picked Melbourne. I've picked Melbourne at the Fortress. They haven't lost there all year, Melbourne. Hence why I picked them. And the wild card round, you got Western Bulldogs. Manny's Collingwood are there. Our Cats are just barely holding on with an inch of our life. St Kilda's there. GWS, and Rocco, your team, Carlton, North. God, we won't even worry about them. Liam, unfortunately, you're at the bottom of the ladder, and Essendon had a good win, removes themselves from the bottom of the ladder, Mark. So, yeah.
Enjoy it, Mark. You're off the bottom there, mate. Enjoy it.
And the funny thing is, Lucas, mate, I was looking at this ladder here and I'm thinking, fuck, where's Geelong? Like, normally I see Geelong up towards, like 4 or 5, and I'm thinking, hold on, Geelong. I'm thinking, I can't see Geelong, mate. Oh, fuck, there they are, 9th. Mate, you don't see that very often, do you, Lucas?
Oh, you don't. But we'll see how good your confidence are when we get him in Geelong. Then we'll see how you're feeling then, mate. We'll see how you're feeling then. But no, you're right. We've stinked this year. Not good enough.
Yeah.
And our season is on the line in the next 2 weeks because we've got Melbourne and we've got Collingwood. If we lose those 2 games, well, sayonara. So yeah, big 2 games coming up for Geelong.
Yeah, I think we're just used to seeing you boys always up towards the top of the ladder.
They'll still be in the finals, man. They'll still be in the top 6. You watch, they'll be in that top 8, top 6. And they've got a couple winnable games this week. I mean, I know they haven't played well at home, but they'll be tough still to beat there,
our last 3 weeks, we play Essendon, Richmond, and I think the other one's North. So, yeah, very a good 3 weeks, last 3 weeks in the season.
I know anything can happen, but you expect them to win the last 3 games, right? So,
if they can't beat, I'll tell you what. I'll say this right now. I'll dare this right now. I need to be careful. It's put me in the arse. I did this once, and it cost me. I'll tell you what.
Do it.
If Essendon beat Geelong in Geelong, I'll come on here naked. I'll come on here naked.
No, thank you.
I swear. I'll wear nothing but an Essendon beanie, so we don't bear the whole Monty, and I'll bear it all. I'm telling you, it cannot. I'm shitting myself now. Don't you even think about losing this game, Geelong. If you lose this game, Geelong,
so bad now.
If Geelong lose this game, you're all dead to me. I'm supporting Hawthorn. You're all dead to me if you lose this. Don't even think about it in Geelong. But that's how confident I am. That's how confident I am. And Liam, there's no point making a bet, mate. We'll just beat you anyway. But I'm telling you right now, the little smirky
Lucas, you seem to be a little bit worried there, my friend. That's why you're probably. I think you're a little bit concerned, buddy. I'll tell you what, if you start improving in this couple of weeks.
How can he be worried? He just made a bet that he'll come on naked if they lose. How can he be worried?
Wearing an Essendon beanie on my pinny. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do.
Oh, mate, our channel could actually be fucking banned after that. This could be a disaster, man. All right, let's move. I
think Rocco for the first time is praying Geelong win.
Yeah, well,
I've just put it in.
I'm a bit too minor. Like I want to see it happen because the embarrassment would be great, but and then I don't want to see it happen either. So
Liam, I guess, you're a Geelong supporter now, Liam. Yeah.
Hey, there'll be plenty of people wearing sunglasses like you on that show if that happens, mate.
They'll be trolling me. Mark will be on my stream like Bo was and you was on my stream when we lost to Carlton. So don't worry about that.
I'll be on, mate.
I need to get a phone call from Mark.
This is going to be fantastic. Hey, let's go into the next games. We go straight into the first one. We haven't got the Collingwood person here to talk about it, but we got Adelaide and Collingwood. It's in Adelaide, always a tough, but Collingwood are good travellers. They always travel well. It's Thursday night. It's the first game of the week. What does everyone think? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Collingwood's actually playing that well. They haven't impressed me. I know people are going to say, oh, you're sore losing that. I watched them. They weren't that impressive. They turned over the ball that many fucking times. Like, we just turned it over more. Like, it was just ridiculous. And Adelaide, mate, they look like world beaters at times, and then they can also look shit house. But over there, they're going to be too hard to. I don't think. But Collingwood fucking travel well, man.
Yeah.
They travel well.
That's what I mean. Like they got him there. I think they got him there twice late last season. They got him in that final for sure.
Yep.
Against Adelaide. Yeah, Adelaide look like the better team at the moment. I'm tipping them. They're playing really well, but they can drop a stinker. I did have a look, and I'll say it for the Collingwood fans. Quaynor, 150th game. Jordan De Goey, 200th game. Two big milestones, same game. Do they get up for that? I don't know. I feel like it's not as big of a thing as it was anymore. But you never know. Something that might give them a little boost, maybe.
It's a game where Adelaide could drop. Yeah, Adelaide have tendencies of dropping these games. Collingwood bet him in the finals last year. I think Crows now. But this would probably show you more about Crows than Collingwood. But I still pick Crows probably by 30. I think Crows will win really well. To be fair, they're the most informed team in the competition right now, in my opinion. So I picked them by 30. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did drop this game because they have tendencies to drop these funny things.
I'm the same. I think that Adelaide will win this by 3 or 4 goals. But if Collingwood, if they're in about at the end, man, like fuck, you just don't know, man. I hate this team, but they're the best travelling side in the competition.
Yeah.
Outside of interstate coming here, a Victorian team travelling, they're the best. They're the best at it. So anyway, fuck them. I hope they get smashed.
Yeah.
Then we've got our game. This is at Marvel. We do not leave Marvel for the rest of the year. Did you know that, Mark? Your game.
No. I thought your home was MCG.
Well, they're not all our home games, but we got the doggies, we've got the thing there, and yes, our home game is we are split between both sides, you dickhead, right?
Yes,
so you know this. So we do play some games at Marvel as home games because games like Gold Coast, man, you're not playing them at the G. How many are you going to get at the G? I mean, you're not going to. Maybe you get 40,000. I mean, Marvel's the perfect venue for it. But anyway, it's on Saturday. I'm actually happy. This is like a 105 game, so pretty happy about that. Get it over and done nice and early. I think we'll beat them. I think they've been a fucking disaster. Cherrett, I think, right. I think Mackay's a test. And I don't think there's going to be too many changes, to tell you the truth. I think that's about it. If they're right, I can't see anyone else coming in. As I said, they've been terrible. They can't play at Marvel. Hardwick's lost the plot. I think we've got this game. I think we're going to win by 3 or 4 goals. I'm pretty confident we'll beat them this week, and then we'll see what happens the weeks after that. Then we got 4 more games, and we got 2 tough games and 2 50-50s coming up in the rest of the season. I think we're in the mix to make that top 10. Yep.
The GWS losing has actually helped you guys, Rocco.
I was going to say, Mark, as much as I want Essendon to lose, you actually did us a favour by beating them because now we're only out by percentage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're only game out. So if St Kilda lose and Carlton, which is possible, and Carlton win, which is highly likely, you're back into it. You're back in it. And if GWS lose to Sydney, which is highly likely, you're in the wildcard again. But you're not. Yeah. So despite the 2 bad weeks that you've had, you're still there. You're not that far. If you can win 3 games, that will probably put you in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gold Coast, and then we've got the Doggies and we've got the Saints, which I think are 50-50 games for us, right? So let's say we do win them. That gives us 3. Are we going to make it? Percentage is low. Maybe yes, maybe no. The other 2 games are Brisbane here and Fremantle here, right? So you're thinking you're going to lose them games. The only chance is Fremantle in last round. They've secured top spot. They've secured the top 2. You know what I mean? Do they rest players? Maybe you get away with something there. But if we make top 10, David Rhys-Jones said this perfectly. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit because if we get there, we're not going to do much anyway. we've got to be thinking about the future. But of course, you go into every game wanting to win it. So
yeah, and that's why they've introduced the top 10, Matt Rocco. That's why they've introduced top 10, just to get everyone into the mood of like,
you're still in it.
Yeah,
you're still in it, so it keeps the season alive for longer. Yeah, that's all.
Well, you've already bet Footscray out that stadium 8 weeks ago. And so that St Kilda game is massive. That's probably an 8-point turnaround game. Whoever wins that game probably makes the last spot.
You're probably right, because then it's out of us two, and it could be the game before the Fremantle game. It could be the game that determines if we make top 10. You know what I mean? So it all just depends. I think we might Wiedering. I don't know if he's going to be back for until the end of the year, but he has been training. So if he comes back, he's big. I mean, even Peter Ned's big for us because we're really lacking in that ruck. And of course, I think Harry will be back. I'm not sure if he'll be back this week or next week. So he did have that knee knock.
So I was going to ask you about Harry Mackay. I got to credit Dad for this one. Jezza, he asked me to ask you. David King, he had some comments about Harry Mackay's injury.
Well, I had my say yesterday about this, right? Last night on Rocco's rant, and I'll have my say again today. First thing, David King can say whatever he wants. I am actually disgusted that the Carlton Football Club asked for an explanation from him. They should not be worrying about what commentators say. Just shut the fuck up, right? And worry about winning games. Don't worry about what commentators say. On the night, you know, because when you're there, I kind of, you know, you don't see it, and then you saw it on replay, and it was just a little knock. And then I heard the people all come out saying the same thing. Oh, he's weak. Oh, how could he not come back? He didn't want to come back. The doctor told him to come back. He didn't want to come back. He went on the bike. He didn't pedal. What a load of fucking bullshit, right? What a load of fucking bullshit, right? At the end of the day, I admit, I don't think Harry Mackay's, how do you say, mentally the strongest player out there. He's proved it before. Maybe his pain threshold isn't as high as someone else. But to say that an AFL player refused to go back on the ground, I think that's a disgrace. No one is doing that. No one is not going. He tried to get back on. He tried to get back on. He went on the bike. And then with that sort of injury, which he's had before, right? It's not even about the pain. It's the stability. So you go out there and you're feeling unstable, right? Mate, do you want to make this worse? The doctors would have said to him, you know, like, you're not going back out. We recommend you don't go back out, right? So that's what happened. So to say that he didn't want to come back on, I can't have that. I can't. And you know what? If that's true, I'd sack him tomorrow. Not at the end of the year. I'd sack him tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
If that was his attitude,
beautiful.
If that's a player's attitude where you're able to come back on and you don't want to, well, then what are you doing there? What are you doing there? So I can't take that. I can't take that he didn't want to come on. You know what I mean? What a load of bullshit, man. Like, why wouldn't he want to play? You know?
Yeah.
That's
spot
on.
That's exactly right.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming there. All right, next one. What do we got next here? Oh, this is the. No, that was that one there. This one here. Sorry.
Whoa,
That's the one.
Seriously, still a dickhead as well.
The line in the sand game.
Bugger. I'm going for Essendon in this one. Well decided. I'm going for him.
Yeah, it's
it's going to be an interesting game, isn't it, boys? I think whatever Hawthorn done to Richmond on the weekend, they could possibly do to Essendon this Saturday evening.
Yeah.
So
they're looking good. Hawthorn are looking good. This is at the MCG. It's on Saturday, 4:15. It's at the twilight game.
It's going to be a tough gig, mate. You know, obviously Hawthorn are playing some good football, and they showed that on the weekend against the Tigers. So this could certainly happen again. And this is certainly what Essendon are capable of doing. You know, 1 week they'll, bring in the effort, and the week after that they'll just get smashed by 80 to 100 points. So I just hope that doesn't happen. That's the key to the whole thing. I don't care how much we lose by in some ways and how much we win by in some ways. At the end of the day, if we just fucking put in some effort, continue that form that we've just showed on the weekend, and just make a contest of the game. There's a few more weeks of football to go. Just show some effort, mate. That's all it's all about. Mistakes we're going to make along the way. Young kids are going to learn along the way. But if they can just show some effort, commitment, and do all those things that are supposed to be meant to be done in football, we might actually take the points by 2 points. So,
of course you would. I didn't expect anything other than you saying that.
No, it's a line in the sand game. Anything is capable. And no, if Essendon do win, I won't be on the show naked with my little beanie.
We do not want any more nudity. No.
Let's stop this nudity on the show here. We don't want to see, especially any of us. Any of us. No one wants to see any of us naked. So.
Especially when it's from a 120-kilo man like myself. No one wants to see that. It's a bit of a danger. Yeah, it's actually a danger game for Hawthorn. It's a bit tough coming off the bye. No, it all. Sorry, Liam. I thought I had to. I think Hawthorn are going to.
Look at his face.
I think Liam's going to like this though. I think we may not because he picked Essendon. No, I think Hawthorn are going to spank your team, Mark. I think it's going to be a 50-point spanking. They're in the top 4 for a reason. Yes, they've got a dream run. I'd love Essendon to win because I can't stand Hawthorn just as much as you guys can't. So love Essendon to win, but reality, no, mate. It's going to be 50 points or more to Hawthorn's going to be a blowout. Sorry, mate. I love yous to win, but yeah.
Yeah, you're looking. Honestly, mate, it can certainly happen 50 points plus. But mate, like I was saying just before, just contest and effort. That's all I want to see on Saturday afternoon, mate. And if they can bring that, honestly, and we go down by 3 or 4 goals, I'll be wrapped. So hopefully that happens. Because they're great games, Essendon Hawthorn games. There's a bit of biff in there, and they're quite arch rivals as well. So let's try and keep that tradition going this weekend.
Hawthorn
go Rocco.
No, I was going to say Hawthorn are almost the complete side. They're almost there, man. Like they got it from back to front. Every line is strong. They got champions from back to front, you know what I mean? So if they lose, they're really having a bad day,
I was going to say you've actually got a good player in the VFL who kicks I think 7 goals in the VFL last week. Mark Nick Cox.
Yes.
So your VFL team's actually doing doing really well. Players kicking 7 goals. Is he a chance to come in this week?
Oh, look, he's been in and out of the side all year, to be honest with you, Lucas. He'll come back in the seniors and he probably just doesn't perform. And sometimes you look at that, and he's been in the system for, he was one of our high draft picks, and he's been in the system for about, 7 years now, so 5-6 years. So, he's one of those players where, it's like a bit like a Sardis, like they're fantastic in their resis and they perform, but then when you throw them in the seniors, they tend to not just show what they're capable of doing. So he was unfortunately concussed. He was actually concussed a few times, and he was out for about 6 to 8 months from the concussion. So that was quite serious. So whether that now is getting back into the swing of things, he had potential. But, he's one of those players I think we're going to consider looking at either probably trading or, keeping, for another 12 months or so. So, but, 7 goals, a great effort in reserves. I watched it. It was at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And they're starting to string some wins together as well, which is a good sign due to the fact that, as I suggested before about the injury list. So more players to choose from. Once you got that in your system, then players tend to play a little bit more better.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. Well done. Well done. All right, let's move into this next one. This is a big game. I mean, this is a team that you potentially could beat. North Yeah, you're playing at Marvel. Marvel's getting complete run.
Are you sure it's North?
Oh, it's the Doggies. Sorry, what am I
Yeah.
saying? The Doggies. Nah, you got no chance then. So Doggies and I
We got
don't know
no
why I
chance.
just saw the jumper.
Either.
You're right there. It's the Doggies. Doggies and Richmond at Marvel on Saturday at 7:40. So they're playing the night game. Okay. Yeah. What do you tell me about it?
It's just saying, like, those pictures are funny because I think I know Bo doesn't ahead of time, but yeah, I think Bailey Dale might not play, and Sam Grill's doing a photo shoot, which is the only thing that we've done well this year is off the field. Yeah, look, it's gonna be a pretty tough day for us. Again, to be honest, it's probably gonna be the same as this one. If we turn up or not turn up how we did on Sunday against the Bulldogs will pump us. They're flat track bullies. They play Marvel really well. We historically do not play Marvel very well. It really, this could be triple figures. It really could. All I ask is that we just show something this game. Just like Mark said, just for us, we just want to see a little bit of it. Just give us something positive for this next 5 weeks that makes me think, all right, maybe this year's gone. It's done. Let's just see. Just show me something. A few young players getting to play together. Like I said, like guys like Laura and Houghton finally getting the chance to play together is really great. That's exciting. You know, those are the things that I'm going to be looking for. Again, things like tackle count is something that I'm looking at. Not giving up uncontested marks. I feel like the Bulldogs really like that game. Yeah, have that space, move it around, get that freedom. So if we want to be competitive and shut them down, we need to shut down that uncontested marking game for them. But yeah, look, it's going to be another tough night for us, I believe. But we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Be positive, Liam. Be positive. I don't think it'll be 100 points. I think it'll be competitive for half. I'm thinking we'll probably 50, 60, which is probably still a blowout, but not 100 points. But no, Footscray do play that ground very well, don't they? So I think they're a 3-4 goal better team on that ground compared to anywhere else. But no, I think you can be competitive. I think you will respond after that game last week. So I'd be a bit optimistic with that one, Liam. So I'll still pick Footscray by 40 plus points, but I don't think it'll be as bad as you think.
Rocco, seeing that we've got Mr. Lucas on the show this evening. He's been on the show for most of the evening. I'm not quite sure what happened to Manos there, but
no, he hasn't shown up. I know he did have family and that there, so
yeah, I totally understand. But being the Fourever rivals, who's Geelong playing? Who's Geelong playing this week?
Well, I was gonna get into that. So what I was gonna do is we have got the games for the week, and when we get to the second game, well, we'll start off with that, and then Liam can go through the games. But Melbourne is playing Geelong at the MCG 7:40. When is that, on the Friday night?
Yeah, it's yes, it is a Friday night. For once, I'm sick of having Thursday night games. Don't get it confusing. This is a hard game for us, a very hard game. Melbourne have played fantastic football this year. In my opinion, I think Stephen King is the coach of the year and well deserved, in my opinion. I know he could lose his next 5 and they couldn't make it, but I don't think so. But he's done a really good job. He's got rid of all the problems, and he's played kids, and those kids have done extremely, extremely well. So this is very tough. I'll go through Geelong first before I dip my margin, but with Geelong, we've lost Holmes, we've lost Cameron, Sean Mena isn't playing, he's had hamstring tightness. So this is this is a depleted Geelong. I know we bet St Kilda last week. We're never really threatened by St Kilda, but this is a whole different, this is a big fish. I know people aren't convinced with Melbourne because it's Melbourne, but they have not lost at that ground all year. I think it'll be a very tough game for us. I've picked Melbourne by 30 points. I think they'll smash us. So it's going to be an uphill battle. I'll have to be proven wrong. But I think it's just a bridge too far with our injuries, and we have to do something very, very special. I'd like to see Mullen shut down Cody, which is very hard because Cody plays up forward. He can kick 3-4 goals in the space of minutes. But their midfield and their forward line, Windsor, he's very good. Harrison's very good. Sparrow, he's had a very good year at Sparrow this year. So it's a very tough game, a game I don't think we'll win. I think it's a game we need to win because, if you any chance you need to make top 4. And that's, if we lose this game, then it's almost gone. It's an uphill battle now because the teams around us have very good draws. But our season is on the line in these next 2 games. So I expect us to beat Collingwood, but not Melbourne. So we'll see what happens. If we win, fantastic. We're back in it. But I don't have high expectations of this game. I know that will upset Geelong fans, but Rock, I don't give a damn what other Geelong fans think. They're privileged babies. I call it how I see it. And I think Melbourne will give us trouble, and I think they're going to be too much for us. But I love to be proven wrong.
Man, Lucas, you're starting to show me some worrying signs about the Geelong Football Club at the moment, mate. I mean, just by the way you're just mentioning about Melbourne and maybe Collingwood, and you were quite confident about, we'll beat Essendon and we'll beat West Coast and we'll beat. Now, would you feel, confident knowing that you're towards the finals, if you do make those finals, that you beat those teams way below you going into finals? Do you think that's going to probably be a downfall for you boys, knowing that, you're beating teams like Essendon, West Coast, and I think it was Richmond, the other team, was it?
Yes, and North, yeah.
You'd want to go into the finals playing, obviously stronger sides going into the finals. Is that going to be a downfall, possibly, knowing that, if you do make finals, it could be a downfall in the coming weeks? It's
not ideal. I don't like playing bottom 4 teams that late in the year personally. But you can't help the draw. It is what it is. Ideally, I'd love to play Fremantle last game of the year. I'd love to play Sydney. I'd love to play Crows in the last game of the year. But that's the draw. It can't really help that. And we had a similar run last year. We played you guys late. We played Richmond in the last round. We made the grand final. So from that point of view, it probably doesn't hurt as much because it's a momentum game. Yes. Runs on the board are more important than sporadically. Yes. And like I said, we did make the grand final, but I've ruled us out. I don't think we won't make a prelim, let alone make a grand final, because I just don't think our squad's it this year. But again, love to be proven wrong. There's just too many worrying signs, like the midfield now. It's just a one-man band in the midfield with Bailey Smith. If Bailey Smith doesn't fire, then we're in all sorts of trouble. Shannon Neal hasn't been the forward that we think everyone's going to be. We've got young players in Wiltshire. He's had a good year. Polkinghorne was fantastic last week. I loved Polkinghorne's game last week. I got really excited about that one, but he could stink the next 5 games up. So it's a pick your poison thing. Like, yeah, you want to play the big teams late, but if you're winning late, if you're still winning in those later games, it doesn't matter. But you don't want to play wild card round. The problem with wild card round is no one really talks about it. It's an extra game. So that's an extra game you have to win the grand final compared to other games. It's even harder. So because you don't get that weeks off, which I think wildcard round is the most stupidest thing ever. I think the bye is the most stupidest thing ever. But look, it is what it is. There's roaring signs with Geelong. I'm not convinced with the coach. I've said that from day one. He's been there 15 years. He's won 2 flags. You can be the judge of that. Don't tell Geelong fans that. They'll say, "Oh, you hate the coach. You've got no idea." 2 flags, 15 years. So it's not like you've won 10 flags in 15 years, 2 flags in 15 years. Richmond's won more than us in that time. It's they're not the team they were last year, and I don't expect them to make prelims and that. So that's the way it is. You have to accept that.
While on the subject of Geelong there, Lucas, just quickly, Essendon are chasing a player. Not quite sure if you give me some feedback. Bose, B-O.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so
midfielder, 27-year-old.
Yes, midfielder, or not really midfielder, high forward. Can play midfield, but he's more high forward, more of a deadeye. Good at running goals as well. He's a good finisher. Now the problem with Bose, he's been in and out of the team. He's had a poor year, to be fair. To be honest, he played in our grand final last year, so he's in our best 22 when he's fit and firing. But he's been dropped a couple of times this year. His form has gone down. His goal kicking has really dropped off, which is disappointing because that's his biggest strength. If your biggest strength is one thing and that's fallen away, then you really got nothing else to go to, have you? So he's doing okay in the VFL, but he's not doing enough in the AFL to keep consistently playing him. If he goes to Essendon, I'm not going to be upset by that. You know, like I said, I think he's had a poor year. Maybe if he wants to go to Essendon, that's all fine. Yeah. You will get a good finisher. You'll get a finisher that will kick goals. He is a goal kicking high forward mid that can play a bit in the midfield. So almost like a utility play in a way. So no, he would be a good fit for you guys. But yeah, if he goes, there'd be no problem. So and I think Chris Scott he's out of favour now with Chris Scott. So probably it would be both for both parties if he did go to Essendon or go wherever. So yeah. But you will get a good finisher that can play a little bit in the midfield. So a good utility player.
Fantastic. Thanks.
We're even getting the inside word on the Geelong players now. This is becoming like Geelong bloody zone here.
You should tell Mick that when I go on his streams.
I was going to ask you about the thing, and look, we'll get Liam to go through the games quickly, but as you can see, I actually picked Geelong. I think you're going to win.
Yeah, so I had a look before, mate. You've gone all different. All right. Tomorrow night, we kick it off with Adelaide and Collingwood. We don't have to be nice to Collingwood. None of them are here. I'm going for Adelaide. Done.
Fuck them.
Friday night, I'll be at this game, Lucas. I'll be at Melbourne and Geelong. Should be a good one. I do like Melbourne. I think they've been really good this year, and they have not lost the game at the G still. So that's why I'm backing them. Also on Friday night, you've got the Western Derby. Freo are playing really well, so they should get the job done. Interested to see if they rest some players. Maybe West Coast are a little chance. Then we move on. Carlton's up on Saturday against Gold Coast. Gold Coast are a bit of a shambles at the moment. I think Carlton bounce back, get the job done here. Then we've got the big line in the sand. The Bombers looking to make it 2 in a row. Don't know if it's going to happen. Hawthorn are playing pretty well. Battle of the Bridge, another good rivalry match. I actually don't mind the Giants tip. I thought about it because that's the kind of team they are. But I think Sydney have to respond this week. We shall see. Then you've got my big game over at Marvel against Bulldogs. Look, we'll give it a red hot crack. Mark's backing us in. He's tipped us. But I think it's the doggies in this one if I'm tipping with my head. Then the Sunday games, Brisbane Port at the Gabba. Brisbane should get the job done at home. And then North and St Kilda to finish the round. No one wants to watch that. But it's an interesting one for the tips because you guys have both tipped them and I've tipped the Saints. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I actually care about it now. Yeah.
If I get 9, I'm going to really shoot up the ladder. But we can have a look at that.
You're definitely ahead of Manny. You'd be pretty
close to I dropped 1 this week. So we're back to 112. You're 118. Mark's excited, but
we're going to hit the ton.
You might hit 100 this week.
You'll hit the ton. But you're that far behind. But I reckon I'm going to get Manny. I reckon I'm too far from Liam. 6 behind. I would have to have a big week this week.
Yeah, we've got 5 games, so you need a tip. You need more than a tip a week. Yeah.
Well, if I get 9. What's the difference between me
I'm
and
worried
you?
about the.
One. We got 1, 2,
Yeah, we've got 3
3.
different. Yeah,
I
I'm
could,
worried
I
about
could,
the
if I
Giants.
gain 3 this week, then we're in with a chance.
Then
But
it's game
that's
on.
going to be very difficult.
Yeah,
I've
the
got once
Giants
this
make
year.
me nervous. And that last game, I should have tipped the draw. Actually, to be honest, North and St Kilda really.
I agree.
I don't know. I won't be watching.
All right.
Land.
It's been a big show. Manny has not, as I said, he had family over. He's leaving tomorrow for Greece for 2 months. So I'm sure that everyone wishes him the best. He's said that I'm going to give him the link, and he might be joining us for a couple of cameos from over there for a bit to say hello. So we might get Manny from Greece, from the Greek Isles. That would be funny. Maybe we can get him on so he can give us our Manny Make Me Laugh. But we might even be getting, I think we need to get Lucas on a few more times, I reckon, coming up to finals. I reckon it'll be good. So definitely you've been a star tonight. I'm not going to forget, even though Manny's not here, I did lose my bet. Didn't I?
I didn't forget. I was waiting.
No, I wouldn't forget. What do you think? I'm fucking like you. Did you know once, Liam, when twice, he always tries to get away from it, right? But do you know once that last time that he lost a bet, he tried to get away from it and quickly tried to, and he didn't end up doing it that week. Like, how bad is that? How bad is that?
I remember that.
Trying to get away from it. But you know what? You can stay there, but he's joined us.
Yasu.
G'day.
How you doing, mate?
Oh, mate.
What's going on?
Here we go.
How you going? How's your family gathering?
It was nice, matey. I wasn't expecting so many, but there ended up being a big crowd. It was, it was nice to see them all.
Are you there already? Are you in Greece already?
No. I fly out tomorrow, but everybody came out to visit me today, and I've been sort of, I had the show, watching the show on the side there, and it's been a great show. It's good to see our mate from Geelong has come to join us. So
Pleasure
to be here, Manny.
No, I like the hat and the no, you've got that classic style. Looks good. Looks really, really good.
Very good. And so we are coming to the end of the show. So you've come at the right time, because I was about to sing the Collingwood song just for you. So you've come at the right time.
Well, not only that, I think it would be just fitting for me to also make everybody laugh before.
We haven't forgotten. We got to get one final make me laugh. Did you like that, Lucas? How do you like that? We'll do that again. This is how good this is. How good is that?
There's some that I love. There's some that I love. There's some I don't. But no, genuinely, he does well. He does well, Manny. He does well. I'm looking forward to this one.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. So there was a father and son, and they were of a American Indian Apache background. So the son was just curious to find out about the history of the Comanches, and he said, "Dad," he says, "I'm just curious." He says, "How did you end up naming my brother, my family?" And he says, "Well, when your brother was born, there was a big bear who was on top of the mountain, and he was roaring. So we called your brother Big Bear Roaring." He says, "Oh wow." He says, "That's interesting." He says, "What about my sister?" He says, "Well, Big Eagle was diving through the air, and when your sister was born, we named her Eagle Diving." Interesting. And then the father says, "But I'd really like to know why you ask me this. Two wolves fucking."
Oh, that's an
Oh,
oldie, but
God.
It's too much.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
we had to. What do we got here? What do
Oh,
we got here?
geez.
I don't know. What do we got here in the chat? I don't know what
Very
to say.
good, Manny.
On that. That's an old one. I knew exactly what you're going to say. I would have said two wolves humping, but you went for the full. You
Well, I
decided-
think it's after 10. It's after 10:20. So
I'm
Gee
giving
whiz.
you a 6 and 7 out of that. 6 and 7 for the last one.
okay.
So that's it. All right. At least you went out with a bang, I suppose. But we were saying that that we'll probably get some cameos all the way from over there. Yeah.
You certainly will. Yes, I'll make sure that I find a nice little spot and I'll send you a couple of videos and also I will yeah, you send me the email and I will come on the show just to briefly say hello and
Maybe
hopefully
give us a Manny, make us laugh every week.
oh yeah, why not? We could do that.
Yeah,
We could do that.
Maybe get some-
why don't you do a cameo of maybe you sitting, with a
He
bit of
will.
colada and
I
and the
reckon he
beach
will
there,
too.
What do you reckon, Manny? Eh? Do one of your
I
Manny-
reckon
Manny
he
making
will, and I
laughs.
reckon you get a couple of your Greek rallos there on too. I reckon. I want to hear some of your Greek rallos come on and talk footy.
Hey, listen there. Listen
Listen
there.
there, I want to hear I want to see the spit. I want to see the goat on the spit. I
Yeah.
want to see the beach, and I want to see your Greek rallos doing the bloody zorba.
And you know the way they like to eat their steak, don't you?
How?
Medium rare.
Medium
Medium
rare.
rare.
Do they actually have the internet in Greece there, Manny? Or
Yeah. Funny enough, they do. They're Marco, they do. And hey, congratulations on your wonderful win, mate. Hey, you guys are now no longer contenders for the wooden spoon.
No, they're contenders. They're just
statistically, we can still make the wooden spoon, mate.
Okay.
they're still working on it. They're still working on it, mate. Let them work on it. All right, it's going on. Are you going to hang around for me to sing the song or what?
Of course.
Of course.
All right, let's do it. Is everyone ready? I have to get the words out because I really don't know these fucking.
Let's
All
go,
right,
Rocco.
everyone get ready. This a bit. I'm fucking about to fucking spew here, man. Like, I'm gonna sing it fast because if I sing it slow, I might faint. Right? Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Bum, bum, bum. Side by side, we stick together to uphold the Magpies. The premiership are shouting as all premiers do. All the premierships are keep walking. Good old Collingwood.
Mate, Rocco, I don't even think you had to read the lyrics to that, mate. You knew that song off by heart, buddy.
He did, mate. Mate, I had to Google the lyrics.
If I knew it off by heart, how did I fuck it up in the middle?
Yeah.
You were enjoying it too much, I reckon.
Yeah, I was enjoying it.
You're having a good
I'm
time.
about to fucking spew up there, man.
Well done, Rocco.
But like, yeah, I know. Trust me, man. This is blasphemy. It is, man. Trust me, man. At least Marco. I don't back out of my fucking bets, mate. I take him as they come.
Come on, Mark.
Here we go. We've got the Collingwood supporters are happy. Shame on you. Well, you know what, Uncle Acker? Mate, you make the bet. I mean, Lucas is going to come on naked. So, hey,
What?
I'm telling you, you know what?
No, Manny. I said,
Yeah.
if we lose to this mob in Geelong, I'll come on naked wearing an Essendon beanie on my pinny. That's what I'll do. That's how confident I am.
Well, if you want, I can give you a mankini.
You know what? I would actually clip that and send it to fucking Essendon. If they need motivation, you can't have more motivation than that.
Oh, gee, this is going to come back to kill me, isn't it?
It could, you know.
Well, if you lose, they are dead to me if they lose that game. They are dead to me.
Mate,
I'll never watch them for the rest of the hell with World Cup round. I hope you lose every game if that happens. You're the morons. If they lose that game, you're morons. You're gone. I'm not watching you. That's how confident I am.
I agree. Oh, mate, you know what? And another thing, you must watch Essendon and Geelong watch along with Lucas, because if Essendon are anywhere near Geelong,
I'll be on. I'll jump on.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you will. Yeah.
All right, listen, it's getting under 3 hours, which has been good. I think it's time to go. I think Manny needs to get some sleep as he's got a big day tomorrow. I hope you enjoy your trip, man. Have a safe flight. Not that you can do anything about it. Usually the flights are pretty safe, but you just never know. Hopefully that you've got the right pilot there.
That's right.
But safe flight. Get over there. Make sure you.
Thanks very much.
You make sure you join us.
You have a safe trip.
At least for a hello. For the rest of us. Before we go, of course, my big news is we've got the big day out Manny's going to be there. We've secured Andrew Walker and Cody Walker and David Rhys-Jones there. So make sure you get in. Tomorrow morning, 9 p.m, the tickets go on sale. Just remember, if you get the premium tickets, you will be sitting the first 2 rows and you get first access to autographs and things to the big players, and you also get some merch. So I think it's worth it. And then the rest of them, it's very reasonably priced. It's going to be a big day all day. There's going to be a big screen there. We're going to watch the prelim. There's going to be stuff to do, handball competition, prizes to be won. We're all going to be there. Fourever rivals are going to jump on the stage too, have a bit of a chat with everyone. Everyone's going to be there. Make sure you get your tickets. We are excited. We also got some announcements coming up, because we are working on another big player, which we're thinking it's coming along nicely. We're just waiting for the confirmation. Monday Blues are going to be there. Blue Sunday, Fourever rivals. As I said, it's on the 19th. At the Open Factory. It's going to be a big day out, as we call it. So make sure you get your tickets. What do you reckon about that, Manny? You're going to be there?
Well, I arrive on the 19th, Rocco.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I arrive on the 19th at about 2200. So,
all right, then come straight there.
Oh, that mightn't be a bad thing.
Well, it's around the corner.
Is that the one on where you had last time?
Yes.
In Coburg or Brunswick?
No, the one in Reservoir.
Oh, the one in Reservoir. I remember that one. Yeah. That is just around the corner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much, guys, and thank you for all your well wishes and your kind wishes. And I will come and see you soon enough. But great show and enjoy it. And I'll see you in September.
There you go. Safe.
Yeah, mate.
Enjoy it, Manny.
Ciao.
See you, mate. And for us, 9 a.m. Get your tickets. Big day out. Which bands are playing? Wow, you're going to be happy about this, but there won't be a band there. But guess what, Rocco Moro? Don't get too excited. But DJ Bo He's gonna spin some records, mate, because you know Bo was part of he was part of Slice and Dice, an international DJ group that used to travel the world, one of the big international DJ. Yes, a DJ Bo. He's going to be spinning the disc, so you're going to be happy with that. So we're going to have DJ Bo doing that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, mate. And General Chicken Company will be supplying the food. So there's going to be great food all day, man, all day. And also we're going to have raffles, Top Dog Liquors. We're giving away vouchers to Top Dog Liquor. We're giving vouchers to the Sporting Globe. All sorts of shit happening. Look, I could see like Lucas is so. Are you coming down? I expect you to come down, man. Jump in that little car of yours.
Well, as long as DJ Bo is playing some Britney Spears tracks, mate, I'll be there no matter what. I've seen. Yeah, Britney Spears. Yeah. I'm a bit fun. Don't get me started into music because I'm a '90s guy, so I like all the 90 power hour artists. Yeah. But with the General Chicken Co., I've seen their adverts, Steez. Even I'm tempted to get in some of their products, let me tell you.
Oh, unbelievable. So, yeah, it's going to be a big night. We'll keep promoting. Make sure you get out there, man. And this is a big show, and it's a big thank you to everyone who stood by us, man. So that's it. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lucas. You've been a star, mate. Thank you very much. Make sure you jump on to your channel, the Geelong Zone,
Geelong Zone. We do 4 shows a week. Doing the Watch Along this week on a Friday. Tipping show and the Monday Fun Day show. Haven't got my host this week, so I'm looking for a host. If any volunteers want to come on Monday, Liam or whatnot, if you would like to come on Monday, would appreciate it. But that's all right. I can do it by myself. But no, I just want to say this. It's been an unbelievable pleasure being on here. I don't take kind of these things for granted. I'm just a small channel. I just do what I do. So for you to invite me on here and then to be with you guys during the whole show is really grateful. And I really love you guys for doing that. So thank you so much for having me on. And I don't take this for granted. All of you, not just you, Rocco, but Mark, you, Liam, as well, and all the TPJ boys, Rocco, you, and Bo, Scotty Tompkins, the lot. You do a great job. The Mars Bar. I've been trying to get the Mars Bar on my show.
I'm going to speak to him and see if we can get him on Monday for you. And Liam, that might be a good little. You should jump on too. Actually, it's a bit of a fun day. And me and Bo, because we've got our show. But what time's your show?
My show starts at 7:30 Melbourne time. So
and what time does it finish?
Finishes around about 9:30. So it only goes for 2 hours, but that's up to the guest.
So what we'll do is me and Bo will jump on after that. After our show, we'll jump on and we'll say hello, and I'll get Marzi Bar and I'll speak to him and see what he does and see what Liam's doing. And we'll do a big one.
That'd be great. But in all seriousness, thanks so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it, and I'm humbled to be here, guys. So thank you so much, and to all the people in the comments, thank you, and to Peter as well, Lana, and Carlos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
No, we love you, mate. You do a great job, man. You're a great man. Thank you very much, man. It's time to go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the boys. I'd just like to say one more thing before we go is stuff Geelong, stuff Richmond, stuff Essendon, and go the Mighty Blues!
Out of Dons!
The filth!
Nah, seriously. In all honesty, I hope nothing but misery for your sides.
For him and himself and everybody around, 'cause he ain't got nobody to listen.